The week of September 30th is Mattel Week at Kmart. Be sure to ask for your free 24-page Mattel Holiday Toy Guide. It's loaded with over $30 in valuable toy coupons. And don't forget to enter the Trip to Toyland sweepstakes. Enter by October 13th at our service desk.
Get ready for the CBS Kmart Get Ready giveaway and get ready for Uncle Buck. Kevin Meaney's the bachelor father of the 90s, and he's got his hands full with 2 precocious kids, a rambunctious teenager, and 1 angry grandmother. He may be crude and crass, but he's family. Get ready for Uncle Buck, Mondays on CBS. Your place to watch, match, and win with the CBS Kmart Get Ready giveaway. Look for details here at Kmart.
New studies show that pot damages your lungs a lot more than you think, especially if you're still growing.
You can't fly if you're high.
The American Lung Association.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp and listen, mister. How are you fixed for blades? Do you have plenty? How are you fixed for blades? You better check. Please make sure you have enough, 'cause a worn out blade makes shaving mighty tough. How are you fixed for blades? Better look. Gillette Blue Blades, I mean.
Computers are coming your way.
Computers? For paying bills?
Mothers, too.
Bah, humbug.
Wow.
Let me try it. What you doing, Tabby?
My homework, a report called Dance to the Beat and Land on 4 Feet.
Which side is up?
Oh, I'm still working on it, Hacker. Besides, I'm going to be a star, not a writer.
Even stars need to write. Use the computer.
The computer?
Sure. This is the word processing program that I use for my science report.
Whoops.
No problem. Change the XYZ to an ABC. With a cursor space, make a word erase.
Let me try it.
See your work improve? Make a sentence move. Cut it down to size you can edit or revise.
Word processing really helps.
Let the printer run when your work's all done and it turns out neat.
What a treat. My work's complete.
I knew that already. I knew he was a serial killer for a while now.
Shoppers.
I can kill the shit out of some cereal.
For your shopping convenience. It's available in every department
Lucky
of the store.
Charms, Fruity
Simply make a
Pebbles,
small
he does it
deposit
all.
for your purchase, And we'll hold it for you.
Cornflakes.
Take
What about
advantage of our sales
Cornflakes are the
prices today.
worst
Put your
cereal.
purchases in
Oh, no,
line
dude.
now.
No,
You gotta put
throw
enough
some
sugar
bananas
on
in
it.
it. It's good.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes is just a taste.
Okay.
You need regular cornflakes with sugar.
What you do is you take cornflakes and you take maple syrup.
This is like grits, though. Yeah, they're only good if you add cheese, butter, a pound of
sugar,
sugar. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not good if you have to add a bunch of stuff to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. You just, goddamn, hamburger's boring unless you got a bunch of shit to it too. What's your point?
I guess you have a point.
Hamburger's
Well,
not
steak's
boring.
not.
Just plain hamburger. You eat a lot of plain hamburger, Russ.
Oh yeah.
Well, I put
Raise your
stuff on
picture,
top
Mike.
of it.
It's like all.
To be fair, he drinks beef broth.
Okay, never mind. That's a good point.
Beef broth is tasty.
Just gonna throw that out
I'm
there.
surprised
on
he's not here today.
Check.
He is
cold
drinking
enough.
Perrier.
Well,
He's
it
a
was
fancy lad
cheap.
today.
He has a quarter a can.
It's
It's
cucumber
cucumber.
with a hint of lime.
Ugh.
It was cheap.
Stupid.
That was the other guy. The cucumber accents the water in such a way. I very much wanted another water.
Ugh. Yeah, so I think Trump's gonna get the coronavirus.
I hope so.
I think he's gonna get it and maybe die from it.
With all those fucking
But
Big
it's a
Macs
hoax,
he eats.
Jason. He can't get it.
What?
It's a hoax. He can't get it.
Well,
This fucking
the
thing.
the virus doesn't care if you
Is
call
it
it a
going
hoax.
limp again?
This thing sucks.
I thought that got replaced.
No.
No.
Well, it's because he's got it way back here, and then he sets like as far away as possible, so it's fully extended at all times.
That's what she
That's
said.
that's the way I roll, Jason.
Dude,
Alright,
you
here
can't
Fully
have it
extended.
fully extended.
Fully
No,
extended,
If it-
baby.
look, even if it's at its peak, it's
Well, tighten up your thing on the bottom. The bottom.
Hey, buddy. Cheers, mate.
Hola!
Oh, fuck.
How are you?
God,
trust me.
I do not like that cup. It makes me
Hey.
feel like I'm
Good.
running a fever. Look at that cup.
Oh, I've already spilled a cup of that in my car today.
Oh dear.
Is that the one you had in the trunk? No, the one that had a lid.
No, that was a Yeti.
Yeah.
Yetis with lids don't last if you leave them in your
Alright.
trunk on a 45-minute journey.
Fuck a Yeti.
But the cats will get in the trunk to try and lick the coffee out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're big and they're
Unnecessarily
brown and
hostile.
they're
You want
always
fucking
out of
Yeti?
focus.
The only thing you should have
Yeah, that cup makes me feel like I need glasses. That's what it is.
While he's wearing glasses.
It's got the scratchy, shiny.
It's kind of pleasant to the touch. It is. The holographic
It's
stuff.
ribbed for her pleasure.
Yep.
And his. I enjoyed it.
Hey,
Rib for her pleasure.
whatever you like.
Makes a little noise when you rub it.
Okay, let's start a show.
This is an explicit podcast containing filthy language and adult themes like dick and shit jokes. If you're easily offended or have a stick up your ass, this probably is not for you. Guidance is suggested for sensitive types, and occasionally some lights may flash, so if you're prone to seizures and all that, you might want to skip this. And lastly, we don't speak for anyone or any entity. We only speak for ourselves, of course. What follows is opinion based on our individual experiences in the industry. So take that. Damn it, I fucked it up at the end.
Good Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever day you listen to this. This is the show formerly known as Out for Delivery, coming to you from the Corona compound. I'm Coronavirus Jason, joined this week by Russ.
Hola.
The little plague monkey herself, Jazz, is here.
I'm here.
We got Ryan's here.
Hello.
Isaac is joining us again. Very excited about this.
He waved.
Hi.
He did.
Hello, Isaac.
Hello,
Welcome.
everybody.
We are streaming live, so.
Bruce
Yeah, but he
is
didn't
here.
say anything though. Like it's
He's
mainly an audio show. Good morning.
Bruce, he's a carrier.
Are we gonna all get sick
Probably.
from being here? I was
I
not
don't
given
know.
this
Listen to
warning.
her. She's
Yeah, dude, she's got the plague, man.
She's a lot worse than what she
I'm
was.
dying a little bit on the inside. I think this is day 4 or 5.
Yeah. I mean, I had a sore throat.
Do
That was
you
it
want
for
some?
a couple days.
GG, dude.
I feel fine.
Do you need some?
No.
I mean, there is.
I may later though.
There is Ocean Wave hand sanitizer available to you. Here's the thing, man. It's the coronavirus. If you're going to get the coronavirus, you want to get it right now, before there's a rush. You want to be early. It's like you're trying to buy tickets to a fucking Who concert in Cincinnati. You want to be day one on the respirator, son. Because if you show up late and all the respirators are gone, what are you going to do?
You say that, but after enough people die, like the more people die, the more the faster they're gonna come up with a
vaccine.
Yeah, or.
I'm just saying, if you're going to get it and need to go on a respirator, you want to do it early.
There's
You
not
wanna
going to be a vaccine for it. It's
the earliest it could be is next year.
Well, fortunately for me, I brought a giant open cup.
Okay, what's that got to do
There,
with anything?
there's like a foot there where if she coughs, there's
gonna
a
have
lot
to
of
take my shit
room
off
for
the
something
table,
to
dude.
land in there. So
Oh, you're
I'm,
good.
I'm good.
Oh, yeah. No,
So I just need to start like sneezing and
I
coughing
didn't
into
bring
your
a
cup.
lid or anything.
If that's the coronavirus, you've got it already.
You can
It's
just do it
already
in my
in your
open mouth. It's
Yeah.
right. It'd be
There's
the
been,
same.
I mean, like, there's been coronaviruses around for like we've known about them for a really,
Is
really
it the
long
common
time.
cold, the version of the
Yeah,
coronavirus?
the common cold. Well, it causes pneumonia and the common cold. This one is just like causing viral pneumonia more than the other ones have. This one's a special coronavirus, but they're saying it has a recovery rate of 99.7% if you are under the age of 50.
Yeah.
So
Does that include like
Wait, how old are you,
2-year-olds
Jason?
and 3-year-olds though?
I'm
'Cause-
I'm 42.
Okay.
actually,
I was gonna
there's
say, does it
been
include
one-
Jason's
no.
physical age instead of
There's
his
been
actual
one
age?
kid under 20 that's died.
He's
from
like
it.
73.
One.
they say
Out of
it
everybody
doesn't-
that's had it.
they say it doesn't affect any kids under the age of 9. So people don't really need to be freaking out. It's really the media that's causing the buzz about it.
Well, here's the thing: is most of the media is over 50, so it is a pretty big fucking issue to them.
That's the reason, because they're like, we're not going to have a Congress left. Everybody,
Oh, darn.
there's going to be
What are
the
we gonna do?
meek shall inherit the earth. It's
So it's a
the
boomer
Bible,
disease.
dude, right?
Okay, look, I get it. Coronavirus, you know,
It's a
don't.
boomer disease.
But Trump's over 50, and he only speaks in relative terms
It's
to
a hoax.
himself,
It's a hoax.
and he says it's nothing. So
He
I don't
said
know.
it's a hoax. So.
Hey, he's got Mike Pence on it. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Look, yeah, he's gonna pray it away, just like he did the AIDS and the gay. So if you look over here, just stop touching your fucking face, guys. That's all you got to do. Don't touch your fucking face. CDC.
Like it doesn't even matter if you get it on your hands.
Can
if
I
you don't
touch
touch
your
your
face?
face,
If you don't touch your face.
you can dip your hands in it, and you're okay.
Now, what they
Just
don't
go
tell
wash
you,
your hands.
what they don't tell you is that also includes your pee hole and your butthole.
Well, yeah.
So
there goes my weekend.
Okay, well here's the thing. Every time I
Just
wipe
wash
my
your
butt
hands first.
You know, sometimes
use your hand?
I just make sure that, it's like when you're cleaning the rim
You-
of
you
something,
gotta
and you
sniff
just
your finger
gotta
to make sure you
you
got
got
it
you you don't want to end up like a Sharpie.
Just keep wiping. And
Yeah,
wiping and-
sometimes when I wipe, I
Every-
wipe
every
and I
time
wipe and I
it's
wipe.
like somebody
back
put a
with
brown
something.
marker in my butt.
It's like wiping a Sharpie.
Look, yeah, okay, death and doom, but here's the real point. If y'all remember last year,
Hold
we
on,
were
do
robbed.
we need a drum roll for the
We
for the
were robbed.
reveal of this thing? There
But
it
here we
is.
go. First place.
All right.
Pinewood Derby trophy.
I guarantee you,
Pinewood
his
Derby.
son hasn't had that since they won it.
He
It's-
slept with it last
he-
night. I had to go into his room and get it out of the fucking bed.
Well,
Put
so
it on the
with-
mantle, and I was sent in this morning for it, and I looked up, and then it was gone. I was like, where did it go? Edith and Amy just looked at me and goes, he took it to bed last night.
Give
I'll go find it.
Give Isaac a quick recap of last year.
We were
because he
cheated.
wasn't here.
We were fucking cheated last year.
It was a
more
big
to it than
deal. A
that.
lot of work they put into this thing, and they were
So
robbed.
they run 6 heats, and the way it works is instead of taking the average winner from all of the heats, they take the fastest time out of all the heats.
What?
So there was one car that had like a quarter of a second faster time than him on one of the 6 runs, and they said, well, you didn't have the fastest time, so you're in second place.
Are
Although
you
he won
kidding?
5 out of the 6.
The
So-
one that he didn't win,
What kind of sense
the
does that
winner
make?
broke his car.
Yeah, he broke his car before like the finals for the the big thing. So this year we made sure he won every time. We bought cheater grease and all kinds of stuff.
How much did you invest in this?
I think I was about $25 into it.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And about 8 pennies.
Yeah, and 8
some
cents.
sand.
$25 and 8 cents. So
I mean, that's worth your child's happiness,
Where's
right?
the winning car?
it's in the house. I didn't bring it out. It's ugly as hell because I let him paint it. That's the only thing he's allowed to touch on it. He's in charge of the paint job, and I'm in charge of the body design and the wheel usage.
Was the cheater kid from last year there?
No.
Oh, it's not a legitimate win.
Right, like you didn't beat him.
I don't even know.
I'm,
if he,
I'm
I
happy
don't-
for Calvin and
Jason-
everything.
I don't think he does Boy
did.
Scouts anymore.
Jason's gonna show up on that guy's door with his car, and it's like, "Let's do this."
Well, he probably tried pulling that bullshit somewhere else, and some other kid took his kneecaps out or something.
It's possible. He's a little
he
shit.
learned his lesson.
To be fair, hyperactive kid in the middle, they're blinking.
Wearing
I think
the
that's,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
suit.
He was so hyper. I watched him go through every Fortnite dance in the moment of 1 minute. And
It wasn't even that. It was like 30 seconds. It was like all of the Fortnite dances within 30 seconds
Yeah,
played at like
just-
5 times speed.
Like
It was
that
weird.
TikTok video. that
Yeah.
was
Is
Is this
going around
sponsored
where
by
everybody does
AutoZone? Who's the guy?
I
in
thought
the
you were
back?
gonna do that. I can
Oh,
I can
that's
list
theirs.
all the states in alphabetical
Back later.
order in
Oh,
Yeah.
a quarter of a second.
But that guy kept telling Calvin how he was going to win and he was going to beat him. So it counts as a legit win because he already had somebody
Yeah,
telling
he
him.
had somebody shit
You're
talking.
coming in. You're coming in second place. I'm coming in first.
Yeah, that kid jumped up. He was like, "I can say all 50 states in a quarter of a second." Oh,
Yeah.
Did come around to show Calvin his trophy. So Calvin held up his and they measured it together. And kid just kind of nodded.
So
yeah.
Calvin got so excited when he won his troop, though, that whenever it come time for the winners of all the troops to run against each other,
Yeah.
I think he had apparently bent one of the axles because he had consistently the slowest time that he had ever had on each one of those. And I was like, yes, you're going to shoot the moon. You're going to come in dead. One time he was a little bit faster than someone else. I was like, you fucking dead. You lose it all. Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, so they had their shit together a little bit more than last year because last year
That
we were
looks
there to
pretty cool.
9:30. But this year, no, we yeah, his car always started out slow, but whenever we hit the flat part of the track, he just zoomed on. A lot of design work went into that. I'd like to thank all the engineers that have assisted me in the past year. They had an electronic timer that did not function properly, I can say. Because one time it said some other kid had a faster time, and I'm sitting there watching that car pass the line after my kid's car did. So I almost had to,
This whole thing's rigged.
I had to almost soccer mom out in there, but then I didn't because, he won in the end, so it doesn't matter.
You can pretend to be a sports dad opposed to a soccer mom.
Whatever.
or a
yeah.
cheer dad. It's cheer dad.
I am not going to be a cheer dad.
Oh, cheer.
That is not a thing I'm going to be into.
Calvin likes dancing.
What about a dance dad? Is dance dad all right?
And dressing up.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know about
dressing up.
dance dads. Your dance dad.
That's 2 out of 3.
Can I have another soft drink?
Sure. Cheer, Dad.
I don't know why
You're
you're
gonna be
calling
the
me that.
you're gonna be the next JoJo Siwa dad.
I don't have anybody involved in cheer.
I don't know who that is.
JoJo, how do you not know? You know the girl with the giant forehead with the
No idea.
with the hair that's always pulled back like this into the tightest friggin' ponytail you've ever seen.
Never heard of her.
Who is she?
She's like she got famous because of Dance Moms, and then
look at Fred over there
she
nodding
is
his head like,
like-
I'm aware of this. Yeah, I watch
Dude,
it.
My wife and my daughter watch Dance Moms.
If you got a daughter, she's into JoJo Siwa. I don't care. Except my 9-year-old.
she's
My
just- she's a
9-year-old
dancer?
wants to play Dead by Daylight, and she's like, you know, she's completely opposite of my middle daughter, who's just like JoJo, and that's what she did for her birthday, and she's got 10 pairs of shoes and all these clothes and a JoJo blanket.
I still don't get who she is.
She's just
there. You go.
She's
There
a
you go.
gymnast? Okay, but who is she?
Nickelodeon
She's just
star.
she's a Nick
Yeah.
star, and she became famous on YouTube. She's like got a
So she's
ridiculous,
got a TV show?
Yes. Well, no, she didn't have a TV show. She just is like a Nick star, and then she has this YouTube channel
Does she
with
have a
like,
book?
I don't know.
Okay.
Dude, her
we've-
concert costs like $200
How
something
old is
dollars
she?
a ticket. Yeah.
How old
I
is
think
she?
we've entered a
15.
zone where you
what?
have to have a girl of a certain age
Dude,
to
she's
understand
tall
what's
too.
going on.
Weirdly enough, she's like almost 5'9", 5'10". She's 15 years old.
You know way too much about her.
I
actually
have a
do.
daughter who's obsessed with her. What do you want me to do? You should see how many pairs of JoJo shoes.
How
and
many
JoJo
JoJo blankets do you have?
Dude, she's got a strip hanging on her wall with like 13 JoJo bows on it. She's got a unicorn
JoJo
sign
bow.
with JoJo
I
Siwa
now
on it in
understand
her
what a
room.
JoJo bow is.
Wow.
I didn't know what that was, but at Michael's we
That's
started
a
selling
JoJo bow.
JoJo bows.
That's a JoJo
and
bow.
I didn't know what in the world that was from.
I feel like
So
I've
it's
entered
just
the
a big
Twilight
bow?
Zone here.
Right?
I think you have to have a
I've
girl
never heard
of a
this.
certain
You
age
have
to be even aware of this.
Absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, like one of my
I thought
favorite
he was
things,
talking
though-
about some weird anime at first, to be honest with you.
Honestly.
Hey, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, dude. It's a
I was talking
badass
about
show.
See?
JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy.
Yeah, the anime is what came up first when I typed in JoJo,
JoJo.
for an image.
JoJo. You should see all the Photoshop pictures of her where they Photoshop out her hairline. So it's just like a giant egg-shaped forehead with a ponytail.
I mean, that ponytail looks so tight that she is losing hair because of it. Like
Bro,
her,
she's-
she's got as much forehead as I do. I mean,
This
look,
is-
Slow
so
down, buddy.
excited. Blah, blah, blah,
seriously,
blah, blah.
look at it.
Dude, look at you got.
Jess, we need to get Jason.
There is a
JoJo
family
bow.
resemblance there.
I mean, her hairline is about the same level as mine.
Everybody keeps saying save JoJo's hairline because like they're saying keeps moving back. Like they Photoshop out her entire hairline, and so she's just like a bow, a ponytail, and a forehead.
She has no lips either. It's like nothing.
I mean, she's weird looking.
Why are we sitting here
anyways.
judging a 15-year-old girl? I don't think this is okay.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on.
Something
This
very
is
not
weird.
right about this shit.
I feel like we're like cyberbullying some girl we've never met.
Have you ever seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure though?
No.
It's worth watching.
It's anime. I don't watch anime.
It's good stuff.
Nah, I'm not gonna cross
Oh,
that
you're
line.
approaching me? Oh, deal.
So,
all the character names are bands. So it's like Dio is the main bad guy. There's like, there's all kinds of shit, dude. Like you just have to watch REO Speedwagon. Like
This sounds horrible.
Led Zeppelin. Like they use all these names for all these bands as character names. It's really funny. It's weird.
It's a unique anime.
Okay, so speaking of anime that you and I might actually listen to,
I doubt that.
on
Listen to.
Netflix, there's a Sturgill Simpson's Sound and Fury.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
What's that? I mean, I know who Sturgill Simpson
Okay, so
is.
evidently, he paired with some anime folks who like drew cartoons.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Based off of his songs.
That sounds more like heavy metal than
It
anime.
is. It's a lot.
It's much
it's
closer
very
to heavy
much
metal,
like that.
and
That's
it's
different.
episodic,
Kinda
so
like
it doesn't
Castlevania.
carry through
Nah.
like
More
a
heavy
central
metal.
theme
I'm just
through the
kidding.
whole
It's-
thing. But it's actually pretty good. Each song's
is
a
good.
separate episode. I was surprised.
I don't know. I might check
You should
that
watch
out.
that. It's right up your alley.
It's worth giving it the first 5 minutes, get through the first song, and see if you like it. If you don't, who gives a fuck?
What
If you
about
do,
Castlevania,
great.
Jason?
What about it?
Have you seen
Castlevania on
Castlevania?
I haven't watched that. No.
You need to watch that
It's
shit.
worth it. Is season 2 out yet?
3's out.
Three's
yeah.
out.
3's out. Shit,
Dude,
I haven't
it
even gotten
was-
to season 2 yet.
Season 2 was
I'm
badass.
shocked that Russ watched it.
Dude, it's amazing. It's
Dude,
Castlevania.
Dude, yeah, that's the thing. I've got great memories of Castlevania the game, and so I had to watch the first season when it came out.
Alucard versus Dracula was like, holy
That was a
shit.
dope
this
fight.
is
I just haven't. I didn't know that they
Alright,
had
I guess-
another season.
I guess
out
I'm
yet.
sold.
Dude.
I guess I'll watch it.
Oh my god.
Isaac's been telling me to watch
Again-
it for like a few weeks
again,
now.
watch the first
But
episode,
he's
give it a
also
shot.
been telling me to watch every other anime
Yeah.
that's ever been made.
Oh yeah.
It's hard
So-
it's hard to take his advice whenever he's into
Oh my
everything.
god.
But when Russ also recommends the same anime, like, what else is there? I'm sold.
If somebody keeps telling you that's my favorite, then you just like
That's my favorite.
It's like I don't know when to believe you.
Was that supposed to be an impression of him?
No,
'Cause that
that's
was like the opposite of his accent.
no, that's Richard Christie off the Howard Stern show. That's every time he comes in, he's like, "That's my favorite band."
To be fair, Jace, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures probably will pop up on your Amazon because your Amazon history has 2 of those books purchased.
Well, you need to stop.
Dude, JoJo's.
Josh likes them.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It is weird. It's like good weird. Okay.
Anyway,
Is that on
you're
Netflix?
approaching me?
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah. First like 3 seasons maybe.
Okay.
Watch them sub. They're better.
I'm
sub.
just recently trying to get into Rick and Morty, so
Rick and Morty's worth it.
I know I'm many
like Rick and
seasons
Morty.
beyond, but Adult Swim app actually has a marathon running.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, you
Where
have
you can just
plenty of
jump in
time,
and
man,
watch 'em.
because it's going to be like another 6
6
months
years before we
another
get
half
another season.
comes out. They only did half a season.
It's Game of Thrones style.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
kind of timeless
I
though.
never
Like you
got
can
into
watch
Game
a
of
Rick and
Thrones.
Morty episode, and it's not tied to today in any way, shape,
Well,
or
My
form.
favorite one, which I forced my wife to watch a million times, was the Vindicators one.
I mean, that one's pretty good.
I don't know why. that
My
so
favorite
makes me
one
laugh
is
so much.
Snowball. Like
Yeah, I
that's
like
the
Snowball.
best.
Where are my testicles, Jerry?
Oh.
Yep.
I just finally saw the Pickle Rick episode, so
Yeah, it's overrated.
Yeah, Pickle Rick was annoying.
Snowball's so much better.
Rick and Morty's awesome. Rick and Morty fans are not.
yeah, I seriously have only seen so far like 4 episodes, so
Yeah, they're all pretty good.
I like season 3 a lot, though. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody! The Ghost Train guy said he was going to use a ghost train.
I like the.
I saw that one.
Yeah. I could have just used the Ghost Train. Hey, no way! Hey, everybody! The Ghost Train guy said. Sorry.
So I finally finished The Mandalorian this week.
That's a good show.
I had 100%
Yeah.
convinced myself by episode 8 that it was John Cusack.
Really?
voicing him.
No.
Because that
No, it's
dude
the Red Viper.
sounds exactly like him.
Hey,
It's the dude that got his head bashed in by the mountain on Game of Thrones.
that was
Yeah.
my favorite scene in Game of Thrones ever.
Which I didn't even realize that till I looked him up afterwards.
Yeah.
So did you see that article on how they made the Mandalorian?
No.
So they literally made like a life-size holodeck. Like, shit you not, fucking full projections. What you're seeing is not fucking green screened.
Oh, it's like old map painting movies. How they used to do the
except-
map painting,
they
except
projected
it's
on the walls.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I posted it in Slack. I was surprised nobody commented on it.
I may have
anyway,
missed
but-
it.
There were a couple scenes from the season that were very Star Wars-esque.
Dude, it felt
There
like old Star
is-
Wars to me.
There is at the beginning of the last episode that scene where the 2 stormtroopers are talking and one of them's
Yeah.
got Yoda in the satchel bag.
Yeah.
Isn't one of them
That
Sudeikis?
scene is fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah,
but,
it
but
was,
the show as a whole, it really isn't Star Wars esque.
So
it's just
the
It felt very
stormtrooper
Rooster
who
Teethy, like Red
yeah,
vs. Blue.
the stormtrooper who punched Yoda is
Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
Is he really?
Yeah, he got like tons of death threats after that. And he's
You're
like,
kidding?
guys, it's not real. It was a fucking puppet.
I didn't know that was
Calm
Jason
down.
Sudeikis.
I
Yeah.
didn't either. That's hilarious.
I love that guy, dude. That is hilarious.
I mean, he will forever be in my heart for Meet the Millers. That's one of the greatest movies of the past 15 years.
I did enjoy that show.
I liked it when he was on It's Always Sunny.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
Their friend they forgot about. What was his name? Schmitty or something like that. And everything Charlie does, he does it, but he does it better, so they think it's funnier.
So it was a bad week for America. The stock market's crashed
Again.
It was a bad week for my Robinhood account.
I should check mine. I haven't looked at
You
mine
lost
in forever.
$32.
I'm up to $38. I've lost now, sir.
Bad
Oh,
week for the G Fund, which affects us a lot more
Yeah.
than your
Yeah,
Robinhood
that's what-
account.
yeah.
Yes, that's true. I mean, the good news is over the past year, I'm still up $30-some, but I'm also down $30-some.
I'm down
I was-
42 cents.
That's a hard hit for
On
you.
my 2 stocks.
Yeah, that's a hard hit for you.
Your 2 free stocks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isaac, are you on Robinhood?
Don't do it.
No.
Can I send you a link so
Don't
I can
do
get
it.
free stock and you get free stock?
I'm okay.
God damn it.
So it was a bad week for this household. My fake grandfather has passed away. I got to go to his service today. Well, his viewing and then the
Sorry
funeral tomorrow.
to hear that.
Leave it to Jason to bring the house down here. God damn, dude.
Well, he led with fake, so.
So there's drama involved in that because some people were not mentioned in the obituary.
Were you mentioned?
I was not, but I don't give a shit.
Wait. There's drama because of the fucking obituary?
Yes.
Yes.
That's always rough.
People were intentionally. People were okay. So the person who's like really, really mad over the past 3 years has done a lot of caretaking of these 2 people, and they were forsaken for a hospice nurse they really liked.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, so when I'm still alive and she wants me to, I'm still gonna have to, help her and stuff, but then they're gonna completely cut me and my family out of the obituary.
Damn.
Totally.
At what point would you be offended? Like, I think if my mom or dad left me out of their obituary, that would be a problem. But anybody else, I don't really think.
If it was my dad, I wouldn't care.
I'm gonna be shocked if my dad has an obituary. If anybody bothers writing him one, if anybody's like, well, I guess we could
You
write
do
one.
realize that someone else writes it, right? You don't write your own obituary.
I'm aware.
What if I did
Okay.
though? And I was like, in my will, I want this obituary.
You probably could.
I feel like the obituary needs to be written by whoever you leave behind. That way it ensures proper treatment of those people when you're on your deathbed. That way you're not, fuck you, get out of here. That way, they're going to write it, so I better.
I wonder if a comedian will write mine. What if you could pay a comedian to?
Also, your will might not
Dude,
be
you
read
do realize that
until
most comedians,
later.
you can give them a ham sandwich and they'd fucking write that for you. They're fucking broke.
No,
there's a lot of those groups now that have you can pay like a few $100 and some random comedian will call a number and leave a message or something like that. I see those things popping up all the time now.
Yeah, so I'm fully expecting drama today. My sister is one of the ones on the warpath.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just going to find a spot in the middle of the room where I can hear everything going on and chill.
Mad because she's not in the obituary?
Yeah, she's a little hurt she's not in the obituary. My dad was not invited to the funeral.
Wait a
And by
minute.
not invited, I mean somebody called him and said, don't come to the funeral.
So he was uninvited. Like that's
I guess that's what you would call it.
So do you think he's going to show up?
Knowing my dad, like, he was here yesterday for some reason, and he was in there ranting and raving. He's
So
not.
was it
He's
his-
not gonna go.
Was it his fake dad?
No, it was his uncle by marriage. Is the way
Okay.
that is.
Okay.
Anyway, so my kid was named in the obituary because
Well,
he's
one of
named after the guy, but
One
my
of
other kid wasn't. So, that's a little strange. It was an online obituary. You had like unlimited space. You
Okay.
could have named a few more people.
Who wrote it?
Infinite characters remaining. No, I'm done.
His daughter, my cousin, I'm sure is the one that did it.
Is it possible she just didn't think about all these different people or remember
No,
them?
she-
Thought to name the one kid named after him and
Yeah.
not his brother.
No, she's
or father.
What it is this stems from nobody went over there on Thanksgiving. So she's mad at us for not going on Thanksgiving.
That's not really the forum
So
to
this
use it.
is a gig back at us, which is fine because, like, my mom was there Wednesday and my sister was there on Friday, and they had an invite to here, but they wouldn't come out here. Like, and we were like offering to go get them and bring them here, and they wouldn't do it, which is fine, whatever. But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna go over there on Thanksgiving. I work tomorrow, and I have to be at this Thanksgiving. I have to be at her Thanksgiving. Like, you had an invite, you don't want to come. I get it. So my mom went out there on Wednesday, and my sister went out there on Friday. So fine, but then she's butthurt that nobody was actually there on Thanksgiving. But now they weren't, but she was. And she lives in fucking Florida, and then sits in Florida and calls other people to take care of her parents, who can no longer take care of themselves. And at some point, it's like, all right, so get your parents to Florida or get the fuck back up here, because this is kind of your responsibility. And so, like, it was a direct slight at some people. Plus, after my mom had the stroke, she told my sister, you need to take her home with you so she can actually be taken care of. And then, of course, my sister, being the shit-stirring bitch she is, called me and guess what Penny said? And I'm like, that bitch. Like, me and my dogs, and they are just barely hanging on. So, yeah. I don't care. But I fully expect there to be one of these trashy funeral home confrontations about every 25 minutes there.
Get a free meal, don't you?
I know. What are you talking about?
We got ham sandwiches
Yeah.
and coleslaw.
Yeah, you get a free
Without the bread,
No,
right?
that-
Just the
that's-
ham
that's
and the
like
cheese, and
usually
you roll it
funeral,
up.
That's not viewing.
Oh,
No, that's
okay.
usually viewing.
Yeah, viewing usually
I've
you
never
bring food.
seen a buffet viewing.
Bro, I was just at
Yeah, most of the
funeral.
time you take in like cold cuts and stuff, but you're taking it for the immediate family who's going to be there from open to close,
Yeah.
not for.
Well, I don't know. We had like
Right.
for my great uncle, we had kind of like a
Yeah, there's usually a pretty good spread.
But it was more of a memorial because we didn't.
Leave
Really
it to
have, like,
Ryan.
a funeral.
I'm going to go check out the funeral. That dude had good taste in food. I guarantee you, there's a nice
Ryan,
spread.
Ryan, do you drive past funeral homes and see like the parking lot's full, and you pull over and like go in just to see what's
No,
inside?
he
just sits there and sticks his nose out the window so he can
that's what I'm
smell
saying,
it.
funeral
Breaking the
crashes.
norm.
Will Ferrell, he's like, "Oh, damn you, Roger! Damn you!"
No, I've had enough funerals to know that there's usually a pretty good spread.
I don't think
He
I've
shows
ever
up and
seen
he's
that.
pissed that they have Walmart brand cola. It's like, what is this Sam's Choice bullshit?
I would be
Dr.
mad.
Thunder,
We need
Mountain
Kirkland.
Lightning, this is bullshit.
He must not have meant anything to you guys. You couldn't even spring for real fucking soda, you fucking
I'm
assholes.
sorry if my funerals have to have a certain standard. To me.
I understand.
Well,
The
then
thinnest
you don't
fat
come to
guy
mind,
I've ever
man.
met.
You're not lying.
Dr.
I understand. So I didn't do shit at work this
Okay,
week.
it's not bad.
Citrus drop.
I got my route covered yesterday, and I taught all week at the plant. So
Yeah, how'd the getting the route covered thing go? Because as we left it, there was no coverage for the route.
he figured it out.
Yeah.
And got somebody in there on Tuesday.
Did you have to remind him?
Yes.
Of course.
It's
And
like
then
when
he was upset that I hadn't reminded him.
Yeah.
that reminds. I was gonna say something on Twitch, but that reminds me of somebody that works at our office who I have to literally remind 20 million friggin' times that I need a certain day off. Even to the point where they're like, "Why didn't you come in Monday?" I was like, "Dude, I told him 17 times I wasn't gonna be there Monday because of a doctor's appointment. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be considered AWOL when I told you a million times I need a day off." But he does the same crap.
That's why you keep a copy of your slip.
Yeah,
Well, then he gets frustrated too when you keep asking. him
yeah,
about
that's
it.
Jordan.
I'm like, dude, change the schedule then.
Like you keep reminding him, and he gets annoyed that you're annoying him with this information. Then when you don't annoy him with the information, he's annoyed with you for not annoying him with the information. Like, what do you want from me, dude? Make up your mind.
That's why I like our supervisor, because she'll tell me, like, bother me about it.
See, I prefer people like
Bother
that
me,
because
senpai.
then that just means to me I can do whatever the fuck I want. If you're gonna be pissed no matter what I do, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
I'm just not going to show up.
That's a
Like
slippery
what?
slope, Bruce. Slippery slope.
No,
right there,
it's
man.
like they're leaving it to me to pick.
So I had a full class. I had the max number of people you can have in a class.
8.
No, 12.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of eyes on you.
It's fine, dude. I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't have any problem at all public speaking.
Were you
if I know what I'm
solo
doing.
or did you have a
I had
helper?
an assistant, or I'm sorry, a helper, who has more experience teaching but less experience in the job.
So you were the helper.
No, I taught the whole class.
What did he do? Or she?
She sat in the back and would interject and say that I was wrong about stuff I absolutely was not wrong
So
about.
Kara was there.
Kinda. She corrected me about new subs having to use the load truck feature.
No, we don't.
When you're getting paid on the clock,
Technically,
they can
everybody gets
absolutely
paid,
make
yeah.
you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
If they tell you to.
We've had guys
yeah.
wrote up for it because they
If
didn't
they
use it.
don't, then you don't.
But one of them was going to a station where I know for a fact they were going to do it. So I mentioned it on the load the truck part of the presentation. Like, hey, for your first 5 pay periods, they might make you do this. But if you're actually, getting paid evaluated, you don't have to. And then she had a conniption fit that I was teaching that at all. And I'm like,
I don't do it.
I'm telling you, this guy's going to have to do it. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
a good thing to teach somebody then. I hate that.
Well, I mean,
long-term
you're
future bullshit.
always evaluated now. You're
Yeah.
not. He's talking about
Yeah.
if you're getting paid straight time for something.
I'm at the point where, like, even if I'm on a cold route, I don't mark the parcels. I'm just like, okay, these probably go over here.
These probably go here.
That is a brave sub right there.
Hey, dude, I came in at 8 and got finished at 3:30 the past 2 days, and that's on Route 90. That's on Jackie's old route. Nice. So, like, I kind of crushed it, and I was just like, all right, these are the apartments. These are the
Well, if it's
mounted-
apartments, you don't have to worry about
well,
it.
it's half. So it's like a big chunk of businesses. Then it's like mounted for half of it and
Hang
apartments
on.
for the other half.
Never mind. It started rolling again.
So I just kind of.
Our shit was freezing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep stopping.
So on
that's
one
not a good
shelf, I
sign.
just threw all the apartments. On the other, I threw all the mounted and just took off.
Huh.
You want to pause it and start it back up?
No, we're just gonna make sure there's nothing running in the background anywhere. There's not.
Anyway, yeah, Glenn makes that route look easy some days.
Well, I almost forgot all my parcels yesterday. And then,
That's an oopsie.
yeah, I was getting in my
So,
truck and Yancy was laughing at me because I was like, "Oh crap, I forgot something." She was like, "What'd you forget?" I come back with a night truck with like, it's like all of this.
So my old station had a bit of a oh shit, where they were down 20 routes yesterday.
Oh, that is impressive.
Yeah,
That's like
they
that
took every
feels
CCA in the city and sent them over that way.
that feels orchestrated. That feels like a protest.
So back when I used to supervise there, we were constantly down 12, 13 routes. So it's not surprising. It's just very rare that happens. And there's only about
blows my mind that there are places this happens on a
45
regular basis.
routes in that
like
station
every day.
So half of the routes were. I was afraid I missed like a walkout with the union
that
on
shit
like
causes
Facebook.
us to bleed so much money.
Oh yeah.
So I cased yesterday since we lost all of our CCAs and we had call-ins ourselves. I cased 4 routes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and carried my route. So I got done at 8:30 last night.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So back to the teaching thing, there was a part where I was reviewing expresses, and I'm like, so a Priority Mail Express, how many days does that have to get where it's going? And somebody said 1 day, and somebody said 2, and I said correct. It could be most of the time it's 1 day,
Yeah.
but then you know there are instances where it's 2, and she hops up out of the back and is like, no, it's 1 day, no matter what, it's 1 day anywhere in the U.S. And then I hit the next slide, and it's literally the answer that says 1 or 2 day, and I'm like. Most of the time it's gonna be 1 day, but it can be 2 day.
Oh,
and then
don't
she like
save
looks.
her.
She like looks at me and then looks at the slide, and then everybody in the room looks at me and then looks at the slide, and they're like, okay.
I mean, you don't make the
You
slides.
taught the teacher
slides are
more
made
than
for
you taught the students.
She just loves to correct me, which is fine.
It feels
Whatever.
like a lot of like the administrative people at the post office. They're like, they understand administrative stuff and they understand like technical aspects, but because they were all terrible carriers, they don't understand anything about the actual physical job.
Well, she was advocating that she's like 6 foot tall. She's like 6'5".
It's a huge bitch.
Like she is. She's very, very tall.
She's an Amazon.
And so she pulls down her mail into a tub, and she 4 corners it, like crisscrosses it in each corner, like all of her flats, everything that's in her case, she pulls down in a tub, and then she sets that tub on the floor and pulls out of the tub. And she's trying to get all these people to do this, and I'm like, guys,
I've seen that done before.
guys, this is a valid way to do this. If you don't have short little T-Rex arms like me, like you can't do this if you're going to be bending over all day long to get something out of a tub on the floor. And she said, that's fine, put it under a tray. I was like, lady, you can put it under 5 trays. I'm still going to be bending to reach for this. I wish my tray was taller.
I don't see, like, that is the most complicated crap I've ever heard. Just put it in a tray.
It's super easy to pull down that way. And like it the way it divides everything out, like you can just grab and go. The issue is you got to have 6 foot arms to be able. You got to have a pretty massive wingspan to be able to get it off the floor. And
I would still just rather do it the way I've been doing.
and then you got to keep your
build
tray
some
against the back
device
window.
so it tilts towards you.
I don't know, man. And she's trying to get everybody doing it. I was like, guys, okay, like some of you can do this, but most of you can't do it. Like there was this one chick that was like shorter, like way shorter than me. She was like, I'm gonna try that. I was like, no, you're not. you pull down in a tray because you can't reach that.
Crisscrossing flats to me is a waste of time anyway. I feel like
That's fine,
I feel
but-
like pulling down that way would just be an even.
I crisscross
greater
every day. You
extension
can
of
fuck
that.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad
Now-
way.
now
Like
sometimes,
everybody has a different way of doing shit. Your person with the Tubbs way is fine.
I'm not
It's a
flipping.
different
I'm not
way.
flipping through every address
But
again.
it don't.
I'm crisscrossing it
takes
once.
So long, like it takes you more time than it saves you.
It takes me 10 minutes to pull down, crisscrossing a rubber band,
And it saves you 5.
I don't rubber band.
It saves me a lot more than 5, sir.
Okay, well it saves me 5.
You're a faster mail sorter than me. Everybody's different, Bruce.
I
We're all
just
beautiful.
said
and-
that.
Okay, first of all, for
You're
the
a-
record,
you're not a you're a
I
Ash.
pull down crisscross for 2 reasons.
Dirty
One,
Ash.
Oh my god. 1, because I'm on a different route every fucking day, and 2, because I'm sorry, but for me, I don't like doing this when I'm looking.
I'm
through
not
flats
saying
or
it's
I'm
a
sitting
bad
there.
way. I'm saying it's a bad way for me.
That's fine. That's fine.
I did Norton
Like
Commons
every
yesterday,
aspect of
though.
our job, me and you probably do different. It's fine.
So then she
do
was
the way that works for
criticizing.
you. But the gist of all of it is try the other ways.
Yeah,
like
well,
you don't
and
know
that's-
it's a bad way.
No.
Until
Whenever
you try it.
Whenever I make them try to pull down, like I make them try to pull down like every way we show them.
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
do this ledge this way.
Do
you
this first. Do this next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try them
No.
all,
I am.
because you're gonna find one that makes sense for your hands and the way your arms
I
work.
feel like newbies though should pull down crisscross because like,
I agree
they're
with you.
not. They can't see the like if somebody pulls down a split for me and it's pulled down straight. I can make it work. I'm like, okay, I can see the mail fast enough to where I can see everything I need to see. But when you're new and you're just out there and you're so overwhelmed, I
Yep.
feel like it's so much easier to have everything crisscrossed. That's just my opinion.
I agree. Hey, I know my entire route, and I still think it's easier to have it crisscross. I don't want to look at that shit again. I grab
do
the
too.
back one, check it, and then I'm gone.
Why does y'all's craft sound so much more complicated? Than
It's not. It's just we have more freedom.
because we don't have people telling us how to do
Yeah.
everything.
We can make up our own fucking system. So I'm sitting here and I'm like,
free will.
I'm showing
What
them
is
how to
that?
pull down into a tray where you rubber band each thing, and I get 2 bundles in there. And she's like, I would never pull down this way because I can tell you right now, that's going to slip and slide. You're going to drop this tray and you're going to have mail everywhere. And so then I just take the tray and throw it in the floor because I've got each like group rubber banded. All the rubber bands stay on us, and if that happens, you just pick up each group, figure out where it goes, put it back in the tray. And she just left the room. I don't even know where she went for like an hour, but she just fucking left.
Well, it sounds like she's a fucking know-it-all.
Yeah.
Well, she
That
thinks
Sounds like
that
she
she's a
needs to
know-it-all.
not be training anybody.
Yeah, but she comes from a small office, and like this whole group was for the most part, except for like 2 or 3 of them.
Going to Middletown.
No,
What's
no,
the
next
time?
door,
What's the time?
What's the time?
35. Going next door to the town that has the gas lights. They were almost all going there, and I'm like,
J-Town?
Jesus
Again.
Christ!
The names.
Don't go.
Oh shit, my bad.
We're
Still at
36
35.
now.
Yeah, you're still. Hey, you don't have a fucking leg to stand on after last week, sir.
Yeah, hey, that was just
Last
one
week was rough.
That was my bad, dude. It's been a while, right?
So like I'm trying to tell them about like citywide bidding, and she's like, "That's not the way it works at station bid." I was like, "Not for all of these people. Where you're at, you had to wait
She needs to
35
not be
years for
training
somebody."
people. Like training small office people is fine.
It's fine to train small office people. You got to understand it works different in the city than what it does in a small office. Like I'm sitting there, like I had to explain to her how like city bidding works. She's like, "Well, that's crazy. I wouldn't do that." I was like, "Yeah, but there's so many more routes. It like
Yeah.
it's
Right.
faster."
What do you mean you wouldn't do that?
That's why I didn't go where Neil went because I was, me and Rich were talking about that one day, and he was like, why would you go out to a small area like that? There's, if you get sick of a route in the city, you can look for another route in the city. If you move somewhere else in the city, you can look for another route in the city. But when you're out there, you got like what, 2 offices, maybe 3 that you can go
Usually
to?
it's one.
Well,
Like her office is one office.
yeah,
like-
see?
Most of the people who have been on a route more than like 5 years are gonna stay on that route until they retire at those kind of places.
That's true.
Yeah, but think if you're a sub. You go to an office that has 8 routes. You're a sub. If there's 2 subs in front of you, you're waiting on fucking like 3 to 4 people to die, retire, or quit.
That's why they usually
I've,
have.
I've seen people in Facebook groups that have been subs for 15, 20
She was
years.
a sub for
Oh,
9 years.
20
She's only been
years.
regular for 3 years.
Yeah, don't they usually have other jobs that they supplement it with? Like,
Yeah.
they don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A
because
lot of them
there's
do.
never
I had
always
to.
work. Did you?
Yeah, I was a sub for 9.5 years.
You and who's Scott?
Yeah, Scott
Yeah,
was
you
right
guys-
behind me.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. What was it? 6.5 years. And I thought that was a long time. Everybody after me was waiting 9 fucking years.
I was 4 for a city carrier.
That's
that
a
was
long time. Yeah.
That was during the hiring freeze. We went through a big old hiring freeze around
Yeah.
that time.
My buddy Alex, he's the city carrier in the city, and he will probably be regular. Like, I
Oh,
think
8 months.
He might be regular now, actually. And he started after me. It's some bullshit, man. That's what the guy that hired me. He was like, "See if you can be a CCA somewhere in the city. You'll be regular way quicker." I was like,
well,
no.
and this
was he a
carriers
city
used to have
carrier or
that.
was he a supervisor?
The guy who told me to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea who he was. So.
I mean,
He was just
city
this random
carriers.
stranger off the street.
City carriers used to have that advantage. They would make regular within 3 years, and rural carriers were taking 5 to 10 years.
Now it's a year max usually.
Yeah, now they're a year, but we're only like 3 years. It's like fucking
Right.
tough it out for 2 years.
Yeah,
God damn, this is a much better fucking job. Trust me.
Yeah, it's 3 years now because I think what's her name, Destiny. She'll make regular like this week probably.
So
yeah, and she's only been here a little under. She made regular quicker than the past like 4 people.
Speaking of making
I don't
regular,
pay attention to that shit anymore.
Obviously.
I mean, yeah.
so Ty, y'all know Ty.
How is he not a regular yet?
Well,
I feel like he's been there for 10 years.
some routes he has been. He intentionally skipped himself a couple times.
Oh, that's right.
So he's decided he's going to bid on him. So he
Is he at your station?
yeah.
What do you mean intentionally skipped
okay.
himself?
I know what you're talking about.
He
actually.
wanted to stay a sub.
He just decided
He didn't
not
bid
to bid on,
on a
route
regular,
at the
yeah.
time. Okay.
Actually,
So he's decided he's going to do that.
No, I never met him, but there were people that were talking about him. Like Nick was like, "Yeah, there's a dude at that station that was
So he's decided that the next time something comes up, he's going to bid. So
Well, he should have bid this week then, because there were 2 routes. One...
he has.
Okay.
But like 3 weeks ago, he lost his phone, and so he no longer has a phone number on file with the post office.
Yeah.
He apparently come in there the other day with a fucking full like Atlanta style rapper grill. And somebody said, "Hey man, you need to give us your phone number." He's like, "I ain't got one," and then left after looking at the routes up for bid, saying, "I'm fucking out of here. I ain't working no more in this subway. This bullshit."
Sounds like him.
So knowing him, he's gonna go home, bid on the 2 routes that are up for bid. He's not gonna get either one of them, but
Right.
he's still gonna be a sub.
He's not going to bid on anything else.
We have a new sub who is now called in 3 days.
Nice.
Fun.
So I don't think she's gonna be a new sub. So then we're left with Charlene.
That sounds like my office.
And that's it.
Charlene
the
is
one.
it.
We got 2 new ones walking in, and Daphne's already gone through 2 subs in the past 6 months. So when everybody was sitting around her, I went, "Holy shit, Daphne, another one!" And everybody got super mad at me because they were like, "Shut up, you're gonna scare them off." I was like, "All right, good. I don't want any more subs here. We have the perfect amount right now. This is awesome." But once a couple people leave, we'll be down.
Well, you want to get new people on the shit routes.
Yeah. The problem is they don't really.
They tend to not stay on the shit routes because that's how that works.
I mean, that route sucks,
That's
man.
better.
Oh yeah, now I can hear that a little bit.
Yeah,
welcome.
I decided he wasn't gonna stay on.
I mean, I was low
turned him
too.
up.
I mean, you turned me up, which is
I
fine.
did not fucking touch you.
I've been right here the entire time, and it
Honest to
sounded
God,
like his.
Did not
mic.
fucking touch you.
Hmm.
I am now. Now I'm gonna turn you back down. I mean,
Now
that's
he's,
too
now,
loud.
now
That's
he's
fine.
now he's touching you.
Is
that
it's
good,
taken,
Ryan,
it's
right
taken
there?
2 years to get him to do that.
You want it up?
Yeah, now that he's
Up
sick,
or down?
you've now been infected.
Can you show us on Ratfink where he touched you?
Come to your Corona, Daddy.
Oh man.
Is Corona Daddy going to be the name of the?
It might.
That sounds like a marketing tool for Coronas. Come and drink your Corona, Daddy.
They actually took a major hit. Like they said, like
Dude,
38%
Americans
don't
are
drink
like
it now.
the
Yeah,
dumbest
I know.
fucking people on the planet.
I'm telling you, dude. I mean, Donald Trump becoming president just solidified how stupid we are. Like, I mean, George Bush twice. I mean, that was bad.
I mean, George was okay.
I still don't
He was
understand that.
I
not
still don't
terrible.
get it either.
I can see the first time, but the second time for
George-
him,
Because John
that
Kerry,
never
dude, who
shoulda
wanted him
happened.
as president.
Yeah,
He
that
was
was
a
more or
creeper.
less the Democrats not putting up a.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would lose my pinky finger if George Bush was president again. George Bush would have put this Corona shit on lockdown.
Yeah.
He's like, this is gonna affect some of my business holdings.
This is. So you can tell Donald Trump's a bad businessman right there.
Yeah. Could fight this shit because he's not a real person anymore. He's got the bomb.
Be careful, you're Corona Daddy. He be coming after.
Terminator underneath.
I'm just happy. George Bush would have locked this shit down.
Get those things on lockdown. You just dog whistled me with the fucking.
Dude, I think I'm getting a whistle.
You're gonna sound like Herbert soon.
No, but I'm telling you, a month from now, George Bush would have been on a fucking aircraft carrier with a mission accomplished, man. We'd have been waterboarding coronavirus. We would have had this shit on lockdown. George Bush would have not fucked around.
Oh my god.
He might have choked to death on a pretzel with no coronavirus.
Oh man, dude, George Bush, what a fucking character.
Thinking back, like all the liberals were like, George Bush is the dumbest, most worst president we could have chose, and then Trump's like, how you doing, fuckers?
There he is.
Hold my corona.
Hopefully that muscle out paperboy come by and bring me some good news.
Got for you.
I got some popsicles down in my cellar. My arthritis.
Get over here, you pigly son bitch.
I mean, George Bush at least believed in science. Like, he thought it was real. He didn't agree with it.
He understood, but he
there's some people out there that understand stuff that I really don't. So we're going to defer to them. Now, they may be Christian scientists, but, he understood that a virus isn't a hoax.
Well, the whole thing is like, somebody had a point. Every 4 years, there is always like a media virus scare. Like, they say that SARS was like way more contagious than the coronavirus, and so was avian
it's way
flu.
more deadly. This is the most contagious one out of the group. That's what's making it so bad. The others are just more deadly.
And it is true that the media is blowing it out of proportion.
Ebola
It
is not the same kind of virus.
But that was, what, 2 years ago that the whole scare happened?
4 years ago.
It's been that long?
Zika, or no, it was 8 years ago. Zika was 2016.
Yeah, Ebola wasn't an airborne
Ebola
virus.
was 2012, and then before that it was swine flu, and then before that it was avian flu, and before that it was SARS. It's every 4 years.
Well, you had MERS too somewhere in there.
MERS might have been what I'm missing here. I think that was the one.
MERS was in there somewhere, which is the same type of thing, but it was way more deadly than this one, but it wasn't as contagious.
Well, and people are freaking
every
out.
4 years,
Every time we say contagious, Russ is like,
I've played
hand
the
sanitizer.
what's the game where you
Plague
play
Inc.
the virus?
Yeah, Plague Inc.
That one.
That's a good game.
It just they get better every 4 years. We had one that killed people really good. Now we have one that spreads really good. The next one can do both.
Well, it's Captain Trips, dude. I'm telling you. I keep hearing you say. Every time I think of the stand, I'm like, man, there are two things that come to mind. That's probably what's going to happen. And two, that was a really long fucking book. It was unnecessarily long.
It needed to be that long. It's multiple books. View it as a series.
Well, the problem is the first time I read it, I read the full, like, unabridged everything version of it, and I was like, God, this book.
The
is
unabridged is so much better. Like, it adds so much to it. But
trash can, man.
There is like 5 pages of what's Franny describing Dairy Queen ice cream.
Yep.
like that exists in there of
Yep.
how it's like. How she feels like it's a conspiracy that they put air bubbles in it, and that's why it's so light and fluffy. But you're just mostly paying for air. It's like 5 pages of like Stephen King hating on Dairy Queen.
Stephen King's a weird guy. Everybody said every time I hear him have an opinion on something, I'm like, it's gonna be fucking weird. He's gonna say something weird. There's something this morning. I wish I could find it. Him talking about. I wish I could find it. It was something fucking weird. Once again, he tweeted about.
He's been writing books about kids dying for 50 years.
That's
of
his
course
shtick,
his
dude.
It's gonna be weird.
Steven Spielberg. There's something about Stevens. Okay, Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg and Stephen King have a thing where they're like, "Hey,
Soderbergh.
how can we make this book or movie better?"
You know who
Kids
had
in
the
danger.
best story out of everybody? John Wayne Gacy.
That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna fucking. His next book's gonna be about another killer clown. But
The John Wayne Gacy story, directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Stephen King.
Yeah, perfect.
No, that's all gay kids. That ain't gonna work. He was a gay man. We'd have to throw some females into that story for it to be good for them.
Have a female in there that's 15 years old that they all have sex with down in a sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It serves a purpose in the book. It just sounds really bad out of context.
It really does, and it's like, dude, the movie. I really had hope for the part 2. I was like, they have the technology. They can do it. They can do the turtle, and they didn't do the turtle, and it really upset
Well, like
me.
I have to explain to everybody about the teenager gangbang scene, which it's not really a gangbang. Let's clarify. It's a train.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, The reason it exists is like it is the monster in the sewers, but on a larger like thematic basis, it's also sex. It's also the difference between being a kid and being an adult.
Yep.
That's why they keep calling it. Your parents know about it, but they don't talk to you about it. That was their transition from being a kid and into adult. That was them defeating it.
Because there are more things like it out there.
Can you define the difference between pulling a train and a gangbang?
Yeah, a gangbang is all at the same time. It's like everybody's involved, and there's ball tickling, and the girl's got two hands going, and where a train is like
I'm not pulling this stuff up on my phone, just so you know. Nothing's going on.
It's like
I feel like a train is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's like
the train, Russ.
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine each of the cars is a person.
Okay.
Waiting to fuck the caboose.
They're waiting to get on the train. Ticket, please.
Ah, gotcha.
And I can tell you that Ben had the biggest dingus. The fat kid.
That's true.
He did.
I don't know. Pulling stuff out of context from a really... sound really bad.
No, it is 100% true.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole, Walter. I don't know what...
So, evidently, the latest Stephen King news from 7 hours ago, he's upset because Woody Allen's book has been pulled, but he
That's
says,
the one!
I don't give a damn about Mr. Allen. It's who gets muzzled next that worries me.
That's the weird thing that I was actually just thinking about.
It's a weird stand in this day and age to take up for fucking Woody Allen.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, the people you're going to defend.
He's not taking up for Woody Allen. He's taking up for non-censorship.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Woody Allen's a weird hill to die on, though, is all
I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying here, okay? Woody Allen it's Woody Allen, dude.
He married his daughter. Come on.
Well, wasn't
I used to think Andy Dick and Woody Allen.
Jazz was making a face like that's illegal.
Hi, Andy Dick here.
Andy Dick is another one. Yeah.
No, I think that Andy Dick and Woody Allen were the same person when I was a kid.
You're not wrong. The difference is just age.
Yeah. Hi, Andy Dick here.
Age and drug content. That's it. All right, well, let's take a piss break.
Woody Allen was significantly more talented.
Yeah.
You don't know what Andy Dick could have done if he'd stayed off drugs.
What did he do? Well,
oh, yeah.
News radio. First of all. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Allowing them to come back in. I'm gonna let the air from the outside blow into the inside because it's hot as fuck in here for a minute or two. The state does have its first case of coronavirus, so it's entirely possible this is the coronavirus.
Apparently, it was the testing criteria were not met, so they don't know for sure if it was or not. It was in Lexington.
That's not. You gotta stop naming local places.
Sorry.
What's the time say?
It's 56. It's not that big a deal. Lexington, Massachusetts. I don't think anybody's gonna look us up. They're definitely gonna know we're from there because I can say Massachusetts correctly.
You have
That's
such
'cause
a
of your
thick
whistling
accent,
tooth.
dude. Oh my god. I was watching one of the worst Stephen King adaptations ever the other day.
Oh,
Needful Things.
Never seen it.
It's
Never even bothered
horrible.
watching it. The worst one's the Gunslinger movie. It has to be. I've never seen
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. I mean, just based on the fact that Jake was the main character. I was like, Jake's not the main character.
So stupid. The Amazon one's looking like it's gonna be good though.
Except they canceled it.
Did they really?
They did.
Why are you fucking coming here crushing my dreams, you fucking dickhead?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
you just
man.
killed his entire
I texted.
world.
I think I texted Bruce about it. Not that long ago that they canceled it.
That's the second time they've built sets for the fucking first town and destroyed them.
They didn't cancel it. What they did was they Amazon didn't buy the pilot.
Oh.
So now they have the option to shop it around. I was like,
Okay.
dude, Netflix will take anything, right?
Because
So-
Ron Howard built the sets for him one time, and then the project got canceled.
It's just such a
Evidently,
long.
Epix is doing a Jerusalem's Lot.
Yeah.
That might be
With
okay.
what's his name? No. It's actually it's not
Oh, no.
Salem's Lot. They're calling it Jerusalem's Lot because
Right.
it's like it takes place in Jerusalem's Lot, but like 200 years before all this shit. Like it takes place in like Puritan times.
Emily
that could be cool.
Hampshire from Schitt's Creek.
There was somebody,
With
Adrian
Adrian
Brody,
Brody.
dude.
That could be good.
That's what I said. I was like, man, I wasn't really
So, like,
interested till
the
then.
best adaptation that's ever been made is a tie between The Mist,
The Mist was
and
good.
Shawshank. Because those are both, like, scene for scene.
Dude, Shawshank is
Wait,
damn near scene for
There's
scene.
a link between the two.
No,
There's a
it's the
link
same
between all of them.
director. What I'm saying is those two are the best, like, movie adaptations of his
Okay,
work.
so what's
I
the-
love The Mist,
but
dude.
What's the link between the Mist
Well, they're
and
both
Shawshank?
directed by
It just has to do with the director. It's not part of the storyline.
No. It's
No.
all everything in Stephen King's stories.
That's
are
what the
connected somehow.
Gunslinger is. It
Just
ties
so you
everything
know,
together.
you've got someone defending the new Gunslinger.
It was awful. There's no defense.
Are they
Just so you know.
retarded?
You can't listen, Kay.
What does it say?
But the new Gunslinger happens in a completely different timeline than the books. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's still garbage. Come on, man. Like, you know it is.
That doesn't make any sense either because Roland's timeline is the key. It's the key world. That's the main timeline. Is anything where Roland's in it, that's happening actively, right?
Yeah, I'm not even getting into it.
Sorry.
This time for the last time, tweeting out those fucking pictures and shit. It's the 19th cycle's the one that we read, but what I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I can't talk about it. Anyway, yeah, it is still garbage. Thank you for just at least admitting that. So the issue is, what's that guy's name that directed those two? And I can't think of it. Anyway, he's the guy that did Walking Dead, the first couple seasons of The Walking Dead.
Oh, dude, he was the first two seasons.
Frank Darabont.
There you go.
And he's fucking excellent at it, but so far, The Outsider is a close tie for an adaptation. Like,
I haven't started
Really
that yet,
good.
dude.
I haven't seen
pretty-
episode, but holy shit.
It's fucking amazing, dude.
My mom's
like
a
it.
huge Stephen King fan. Like, she's the person that got me into Stephen King.
Yeah.
So she keeps telling me I have to read the book before I watch the show. But
You
she
do,
says
because
close.
That's why I haven't watched Doctor Sleep yet. I'm like
Oh,
halfway through the
dude,
book.
that was pretty close. They fixed every mistake that
I haven't seen it.
every mistake that Stanley Kubrick made. They retconned it with Doctor Sleep. So like Doctor Sleep itself, the story isn't precisely correct, but it's like if you combine them together, everything would fit. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
I'll
I
have to
love
watch
Doctor
that.
Sleep, the book, but I mean the weakest part
Well,
of it.
The
was
liking it
the-
so far.
The Outsider's my favorite book by him that he's wrote probably in the last 10 years.
That's what my mom said too.
It's a really good one because it does that same twist that it does in the show where like for the first half of the book you're like, this is just true crime, this is weird. And
Don't
then all of a
say
sudden you're
anything.
like, oh, there's some weird shit happening. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. So, welcome back to the show formerly known as Out for Delivery. Once again, I am Coronavirus Jason, joined by the entire crew here. Now, what we're going to ask
I
you
don't like
to do...
that name. That name just bothers me, him saying it.
It's also wrong.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were still going.
It's
Go ahead.
Corona Daddy.
Corona Daddy.
I am your Corona Daddy coming at you on the Corona channel.
Or not okay with that name.
Wolfman Corona coming at you, playing these kids. Why you out there driving?
How about
Anyway.
Corona Jack?
Yeah,
That flows pretty well.
it does, but one time I'm not doing it twice. Change the name. Anyway, so you can support us in lots of different ways. You can go to the website. You can shop on Amazon using one of our links. It's not going to cost you any more. We'll get kicked a few pennies. You can also subscribe to us on Twitch using your Amazon Prime membership or an actual subscription, and we'll get actually a lot of money from that. We get $2.50 usually per sub, so we would appreciate you doing that.
Big ballin'.
You could also just go to the website, click on
Keeps the
support.
lights on.
Yep, go to support, and then just send us regular money that we will use to upgrade equipment and pay the bills. And that's it.
There's a Patreon still. Did you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Patreon. You can sign up to that. Support us on a reoccurring monthly basis. Ryan had to ditch. He said something about he needed an enema or an enemy. I don't.
And then an enemy.
He got a live update. Wendy's was releasing a new menu item.
Yeah.
So he had to.
He's an official Wendy's taster. He has to fly out to the headquarters. And,
he gets preview emails.
He did have that special phone that looks like the Wendy's ponytails when he answered it.
Yeah. So he had to fly out there and immediately give his thoughts and opinions on a new nuggy sauce.
He does kind of look like the Wendy's girl now that you mention it.
He had to go collect his good boy points or his chicken tendies.
Small Frosty. Anyway, so thank you for joining us. We're back. One down. We had plenty of people today, so Avery's like, I think I'm going to skip if we've got plenty. I said, yeah, and then Ryan leaves at the halfway mark, so Avery's dead to me again now. It's his fault. What else has happened this week? Coronavirus.
It was a weird week volume-wise.
Got our asses kicked.
Like Monday and Tuesday was crazy. And then Wednesday was nothing.
And then Thursday and Friday were also crazy.
Thursday and Friday were crazy.
And Saturday was crazy. Got those that one box holder, the magazine one for the Commonplace, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
Especially when you got those apartments, over there that wrap around, and you just gotta sit there for like a half hour and just But
at least you didn't have Amy's route where you would have had to fold each of those twice just to get them in the box.
Yeah, fuck that. I would have just thrown them in the. You know what she does, right? She
well,
just throws them. She just throws them in that slot next to it.
Those don't go anywhere.
I mean, they don't. And like you go through those apartments, and there's just like tubs of just Advos just like sitting there, and I'm like, well, there's no doubt that she either A, leaves that there for people to trash their Advos, or B, she just throws them all there and leaves.
Well, originally that's what it was for, that and garbage, and then people would just put their garbage stuff in there, and then somebody came through those once a week and cleaned them out.
And now they don't.
Because there used to be a person who cleaned those hallways. That was a long time ago.
Now there's just vomit and cockroaches and
curry spice.
Curry. Just if you've
ever in the carpet.
If you've never been to India, go to those apartments and you could simulate
Start calling
the
those
experience.
little India.
That's what I've been saying, dude. Like every time, bless you. It smells like ginger and clove, and I'm like, well, these smells are pleasant, but not when they're coming from somebody else's house. It's just, I don't know. It's just off-putting.
Pass me the Corona Killer.
Dude, Lysol is now promoting their Lysol cans with kills coronavirus on the outside of it.
Nice.
So some people are calling it, they're like, it is a conspiracy. No, I was like, dude, that's just marketing, dude. They do it to the flu when the flu is out.
Taking advantage of what's already going on.
Amy went to the Walmarts on Friday, and they were out of all hand sanitizer and hand soap, and there was a guy screaming at the pharmacist about it being gone.
Hand soap, please.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
also the pharmacist?
Yeah, he's the guy in
like
charge
he doesn't
of
even
ordering.
stock the shelves. He's like, sir,
He's
you have to go to
supposed to have the
Walmart. I don't
emergency
even really
supply.
work for Walmart.
Yeah, I've got plenty of
hand
Smirnoff.
sanitizer,
Worst case
yeah.
scenario, I'll just pour Smirnoff over my hands for 5 seconds. And
You have Smirnoff left?
No, I don't. Never mind.
Straight grain out in my fridge. Maybe that'll kill it.
It should.
It's 93 proof, right?
See, like, so we bought some like food.
What?
Yeah, we did. And here's the reason, like, I bought the storable food stuffs is not because I'm worried about the coronavirus. It's that I'm worried about these fucking idiots going and buying everything, and then I
Yep.
can't get my chicken tenders.
Can't get your good boy tendies.
Yeah, because these idiots have went and bought everything. So we bought plenty of dry beans and rice. So, I mean, I don't want to eat it, but if I had to, I guess I could.
I mean, red beans and rice are pretty good, man, if you do them
we
up
bought
right.
we bought pinto beans so we could have burritos.
There's also some
Oh, got me
Also
some
some what?
pintos. Huh?
some kidney beans.
Yeah, a few packs of those, and yeah, and
Some
then-
lentils. You just went through the dry.
Let's just make this a different color.
Y'all make fun all you want to, but dry beans are really fucking cheap. I found out. So
Yeah.
is rice. Like you can buy like
Dude.
bags of rice, enriched rice with like vitamins and shit in them.
Have you ever had the yellow rice, the saffron rice?
No.
Oh, dude, it'll change your
I
fucking
hate
life.
rice. I don't want to eat rice.
I'm not
no
huge
rice
on
is gonna
rice
change
either.
my life.
I'm telling you, I never had this crap till I married my wife, and then she was like, "Well, I'm pregnant now, so I got to eat this yellow rice." And I was like, "That smells really good. What is that?" It's like this sticky yellow saffron rice, and it's amazing. It's like the best thing
Is
ever.
there sugar in it?
No.
And then I'm gonna pass. That's the only way I'll eat rice is with sugar and butter.
I mean, you can put sugar in it.
Why don't you just eat some cereal?
I do.
This is just how he's gonna eat his cereal when there's no cereal in the stores.
In it.
Yep. Do they?
No.
Rice Krispies?
Oh.
No. Not when you first
gotta-
pour
you
them in
gotta
your
add it.
bowl. That's what the sugar pour things for.
Sugar have in it.
It's all sugar.
No.
100% sugar.
That's funny.
1 gram per gram.
Sometimes I trick my body by putting Splenda in instead, just to mix it up.
It doesn't refuse it immediately and just
No.
make you vomit it back.
I need a maraschino cherry to stick on the top.
If you could, I'd appreciate it.
See, there we go. I'll fix it.
Anyway, so
Anyway, rice. You know, you were talking about rice. It's
Yeah.
good to eat if you're
Yeah.
hungry and you want to eat 10,000 of something.
And it's
that's
really
a
cheap.
that's a Mitch Hedberg joke
Yeah.
right there.
Hedberg.
yeah, so well, we have plenty. We have like 30 pounds of rice.
It's a lot of
That's
rice.
a lot of rice.
Dude, then you're
30
gonna end
gra-
up. China, they eat a lot of rice, and they're responsible for the coronavirus. So you might be digging
Ooh,
yourself a hole.
That's a good.
Where do you think that rice came from, Jason?
The ice caps melt, and new viruses come out. So it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. You're gonna start boiling that rice, that
They
coronavirus.
have virus in there. But you cook it. Cook it
So you-
now and
Is that
bring
what you're
back the
saying?
coronavirus that had been eradicated.
Throw the rice out. We're just gonna be eating. We're
Just
gonna be eating
beans now.
Just beans.
Beans and milk and sugar.
Now the milk's gone. There will be no milk for months here. It's gonna be like the worst snowstorm in history ever hit. It's just all the bread and milk's gonna be gone from every grocery store.
Walmart's really gonna regret putting their milk to 68 cents a gallon every single time we come in there.
Walmart's got a lot of regrets. I can tell you that right now.
Regrets? No. Did you see that they're trying to make their own like doctor's office there at Walmart now?
Oh, that fills me with confidence.
Yeah, dude.
Like extreme
I mean, they already got
confidence.
they got the pharmacy, the grocery. Why not have a doctor's office? Because they have. But now, like, I mean, from what I hear, it's like you can actually go there and get a fucking CT scan and shit.
Yeah, a Sam's Choice doctor is who I want checking out my fucking.
I mean,
beans.
we just get closer every day to idiocracy. Like every day we take a step further to some guy going, "Look here, man. It says on your chart that you're fucked up." You know.
Welcome to Walmart. I love you.
My cousin used to say that when he worked at Kroger. He'd go, "Welcome to Kroger. I love you."
So Buxton,
Yeah.
The Bucks.
the Idiocracy Starbucks.
Yeah. I mean, if
Comanche,
that's where I gotta
President
work for now,
Comanche.
I'll just take over the entire store. You know, it'll be easy.
I mean, seriously, this country is at least 2 years away from pouring straight Gatorade under our crops.
Yep.
Like I see it happening.
It's what plants need.
That's what
Babies
plants
crave
crave.
Oh my God! You mean water, like from the toilet?
Got 2 water fountains. You got orange Brondo and you got green Brondo.
I forgot all about that
Thirst
shit, man.
mutilator.
Yeah, there's another good movie that's really underrated that has some awesome parts, and that's Strange Wilderness. Have you ever
I
seen that?
haven't seen that. I've heard of it, but
You really need to watch Strange
I can loan you
Wilderness.
the DVD.
It is one of sleeper, dude. And no one's
Are you
seen
gonna
it.
loan me a DVD player as well?
Yeah, because
Jason, we have one.
we do.
Yeah.
But
where?
Don't like
My room?
Xboxes play DVDs?
But that
Do
too,
they?
yes.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, well, then yeah, I got a
We
DVD
have a
player. We're
million
good.
of them, but
It's
I have like little DVD player.
Oh shit! Well, it's like Happy Madison. It's
They're-
that crew
they're
without.
Also, everybody.
So
should
it's like
have one.
Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite.
It's the same. It's the same. Except Ernest Borgnine's in it, which is awesome, and he plays Justin Long's grandpa. And of course, Justin Long has the funniest part in the whole movie.
Yeah.
That only lasts, 5 seconds. He's like he draws eyes on his eyelids, and he's like falling asleep.
It's so awesome. It gets a 2 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck that.
Boy too, and I fucking love when
yeah.
the drug dealer.
Look at the cast.
Okay,
Is that
I'm
Jonah
on.
Hill?
I'm
Yeah,
on
dude.
board.
No, he is really young, but dude, Jonah Hill has one of the funniest parts in the whole fucking movie. Take a bow.
All right, I'm on board. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna find out where I can stream this because I don't watch DVDs.
It's like they do nature
know, Russ.
documentaries.
I know.
And it's like they're horrible. The guys are like, oh my god, the shark scene is the funniest
He
scene.
doesn't do DVDs because the technology confuses him. He's that fucking old.
No. I'm stream only. I'm trying to. Yeah. Well,
So
I mean,
young
Steve
Twitter
Zahn
is-
is pretty hilarious.
Which have you seen Tacoma FD?
No.
You should watch. You owe it to yourself to watch at least an episode.
I'll
of that.
check that out.
No, but Grandma's Boy, when they're over at the drug dealer's house and he's got the karate trained monkey.
Yeah.
And they hear all the shit upstairs. He's like, Mr. Lee, monkey. Fucking, and then the weed that gives you the antlers.
Yep.
How's my antlers?
I'm telling you though, man, this is like one of those ones where it's like he's like showing them scenes for that. He's like, dude, look at this crap. This is what you've been putting on TV. And he gets out of his Jeep and he's like, next we'll be looking at some people. And he gets back in his truck. Indigenous people as pygmy people. Like,
I gotta watch it. We're gonna have to find out where we can stream this. and
it's
watch
so
it.
good, dude. There's so many good parts of that movie. Anyways.
Yeah, so Amy's super freaked out about the coronavirus, and so she keeps looking at me and Jazz like we're gonna die at any time now. She's like, day 5 is when it happens. It's when it hits.
It's the Wish.com packages, man.
That's possible. I have ordered a lot of stickers from Wish lately.
Have you done this though? When I get a Wish package now,
you immediately lick it.
Yeah. No, what I do is like I'm like extra careful with it. Number one, number two, I'm like I was telling Lib the other day, I was like, anytime there's a hole in it, I have to keep it away from me so the package, doesn't fucking breathe on you. When you push it and the air comes, I'm like, oh, I got it.
He's air.
I got the fucking.
Dude, so many people are ordering sex toys off of Wish, and it says on the front of the package what that it's a sex toy.
Yeah.
And then it's in a package like so well that like you can just grab the dildo and feel like the balls and everything. Like so many people are ordering like sex toys off there. It is ridiculous. Like a Chinese-made sex toy that hasn't come through an American like another American company that's at least said, well, there's a razor blade in this. We're not selling this.
It's got to be on 1,000 Ways to Die. A man orders a package on Wish.com.
Little did you know there was a machinery.
I mean, it's just a piece of rubber that's stamped. Just wash it.
You don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't be like, dude, I wouldn't put it past him using asbestos rubber. Like, and then you got asshole cancer. The worst cancer.
Or the best cancer, depending on where you're standing.
No, I think always going to be the.
Well, like, funny about like shapes of packages the other day. I don't know if you know this, but my mom works with us.
Yeah.
And the other day she's on this route and she gets this package, and I mean literally everybody's head turns as soon as they see it because it's about this big and it's literally shaped like a dick and balls.
Oh, that's
and I
great.
mean, it's huge. It's like this huge.
It was, and
Dick and
it
balls.
really was that big.
Bruce was there. I forgot. Yeah, it was literally looked like a big Dick and balls.
Was it a big dick and balls?
No,
or-
it was not. It was something different. But everybody in the station was like,
It was like 2 soccer balls and a soccer net collapsed.
well, to my fucking mom. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting there red faced because she's going. she'd be yelling at me from across the fucking station. I was like, I wonder where we're from. My is and well, that
So,
actually works.
I ordered a summer sausage off of Reddit.
Oh,
because I went back to the flea
Off of
market.
Reddit?
Not Reddit, shit. Fucking
No
Amazon.
wonder y'all are sick.
Amazon.
What?
Yeah, this is why I'm so sick. He fed me Reddit food.
Right.
No, it was Amazon. I think the coronavirus has infected my brain. It's broke the blood-brain barrier. We gotta get a house on this.
Why would you order it off
It's lupus.
Amazon?
Because I was wanting to try this one kind that we don't have really around here locally. Because I'm very disappointed that the Wisconsin guy never comes to the flea market anymore. And so I was very upset about that because I had my heart set on his summer sausage.
Corona Daddy or his summer sausage.
I just realized
The Wisconsin man's summer sausage.
how that come across.
Yeah.
Saying it.
How his
I'm
sausage
starting to
came
believe
across?
more and more that this is a Reddit deal, that the summer sausage was just a distraction from what really happened now.
So,
meet and greets on Reddit.
I'll order it. It shows up. It's like a 2-pound roll of summer sausage.
This
It's on the porch.
This gets better and better.
So I send Jazz. I see on my phone that my summer
Can you
sausage
speak
has
slower,
arrived.
A deeper voice for it?
And so
The sausage has arrived.
I say, Jazz, go out there on the porch and get my summer sausage before the cats smell it.
Hold on. Isaac, start playing some smooth jazz.
No Spandu ballet on this show. It's a written rule.
No wham is allowed.
So she goes out and gets it and then brings it back in and says, "Here's your dildo," because they put it in a bag.
That's what it felt
And
like.
it feels exactly like it's like, oh, well, this is obviously a dildo. And so now I'm like, what does this fucking Amazon carrier think I'm ordering from Amazon? Just a bunch of fucking weird dildos. I wanted to open the door. I was like, no, man.
He already. PSA to everybody: if your carrier is bringing you a dick-shaped package, he already knows what's in it.
I assume it's a dick.
Well, you know.
Yeah, but you're gonna.
Not, but like a plastic dick.
Okay, so
you're
this
hoping.
is something
A rubber
I've been
dick.
wondering, and you carriers can tell me. How many people still order pornographic, like, magazines?
Zero.
Very few.
Woohoo, baby.
Rarely will you see a Playboy.
This
That's
isn't
about
a
it.
Playboy or
So
anything,
people
don't
don't
worry.
get that anymore. It's
I
just,
don't.
No.
Last
There's
time
like
I
one
saw
guy on
one.
my route, and he, like, I think he just collects them. I think he just puts them up. He doesn't even open them.
All right, hold on. Let me find this.
Because
real quick.
he has asked me before that when they come to make
We
sure
do
that I
get
don't
stuff like
roll
this
them.
though. I had to take a picture of this. On here. Last all night, satisfy women for hours.
Oh yeah, we do get
and
lots of pornography.
Look at this.
Really?
This is the
Yeah.
best part though.
Yeah, it's usually that's what it looks. That's what the front of this letter looks like.
Yeah, those happen a lot.
Yeah. You hard as steel, baby.
There's
Last all
But that's
night.
like this type of stuff is almost always somebody signed up to receive something like
Yeah,
that.
so,
or
like-
they bought something like
These are
that.
old people too.
Yeah, they're old.
Always old. At
To,
least
and
70.
he is signed up to some kind of sexy racist mailing list. Constantly getting an ad for Mandingo pills.
Oh.
Get black or white woman, but it's like the way they're turned, like you can't see anything, but they're obviously fucking naked, and it's
she's like holding a cucumber up, and
No,
he's
no, 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 no.
standing
It's-
behind her naked.
no. He's standing behind her naked, but it's like they're both on, like facing kind of away, but not really. And they got their head turned, but it's like you'll have the African power of 1,000 men. Or vaguely racist as well as, you know, like sexual oriented ad. And it says like real big on the front, sexual oriented ad, don't open if you will be offended. I'm like, the fucking cover offended me.
Too late.
Dude, some of it's like real bad, but that's my favorite one. Was I saw that, I had to take a picture because it was just a chick with a banana going, "Ooh," like, dude, come on, man.
That one or the one with the gummy bears fucking?
I haven't seen that one.
I missed this one too.
So it's a taller, like flat-sized one, and on the back there's just a bunch of different pictures of two gummy bears in different sexual
Just
positions.
banging it out.
Two
bear
regular
Kama
gummy
Sutra?
bears, huh?
It's like the Kama Sutra for gummy bears.
You're like,
It's an advertisement for dick pills.
but what if you?
Yeah, there's lots of those coming across, and it's always for somebody that's way too old to be like, you can't have sex, dude. Your heart's gonna explode.
I don't know, man. On
I've seen you walking down. You can't even handle that little walk.
On one of the routes that my primary route, there is a couple of single guys that live in this house. It's a huge house. Okay, it's in like huge house. Okay, and it's just so far as I can see. Every time I ever go deliver a certified, a parcel, so far as I can see, there's two guys that live there, and like the guy's girlfriend maybe. I don't know. Anyways, they get these ads a lot. Like I see them pretty often, and I always am like, what? Who the fuck orders this shit? What mailing list do you?
It automatically added if you buy some Chinese dick pills. Or
I think it's what it
something.
is. I think you bought dick pills at some point in your
And now
past
you're
from
on
a
a
shady
list,
company.
And
Your
they're like,
Amazon really glad
Last
he's
all
not your
night.
actual normal deliverer because he's probably thinking you're getting those ads after those summer sausage packages.
No, I like seeing them. They amuse
watch
me.
them as somebody's gonna sign you up for that list, and then your Amazon driver's gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
I gotta tell you though, like those are way less offensive to me than the cleft palate kid envelopes we deliver all the time.
Okay. Funny story
Those
time.
are like, oh
What are
god.
those?
Did anybody? Eddie?
Yes.
No.
Okay. There's this ad that we get sometimes, and I'm sure you've seen it a million times, and it's this little boy, and he's got this huge thing on the side of his face. And the first time I saw it, the only thing I could think of was, "Silly Ed boy, you can't have a jawbreaker." And then amazingly huge, and they put him in their mouth, and it like
makes that big bowl.
First thing I thought, it's still. I know. What?
Looks like he's got a jawbreaker.
Yeah. Nick, look at this. Silly Ed the boy.
Somebody get that kid some iodine salt.
Anyway, Russ,
He's got scurvy.
The cleft palate ones are basically the same type of thing. They're kind of like graphically shocking. It's just some kid with a cleft palate, and then it's got like his lip goes all the way up to his nose or something.
Yeah, it's like his face was cut in half and then they sewed it back together, but a little off.
Oh.
Like it's.
Yeah, there you go. Too. So I get these ads, and I'm sure everybody does, where they're like, and this is the weirdest thing to me, and I never understood this, because I understand the political crap, I understand everything else, but what is it about saving a Jewish widow?
I don't get
so-
You're talking.
I think if you're a Jewish guy, like that's a thing they have to do.
They're like, save a Jewish widow for only 13 cents a day. I was like, I don't understand. Like,
that's just bad financial planning on their husband's fault. It's kind of on them.
But they're Jewish. I thought that they would like
Well, I mean,
have their
that's
shit
what
together.
I'm saying.
It's just
it
so
could have
odd
been
to
an
me.
unexpected death.
All right, but I mean, normally a Jew has, you know, life insurance.
Gold? No.
Well, that's
no,
like,
They have tears.
Sell their tears. They sell on the black market.
Tears to
So
protect me
a
from
very,
AIDS.
very quick and very cursory search here. It looks like the Torah teaches them to protect widows, but most Jewish authorities do not recommend marrying them. So once you've been widowed, you're evidently like
that's
on
hardcore,
your
man.
fucking own, unless these other folks help you out.
I have a better
That
question.
doesn't sound.
What is a Jewish authority?
I don't know.
Where are the Jew police? Because
It didn't work out very well.
no, those were people.
Those were people policing.
Wasn't that a song? The Jew Police no? That's the Dream Police.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's but
would not approve of this episode.
Kids with the cleft palates, and I get your political propaganda, but what I don't get is saving the Jewish widow. So now I understand a little bit better.
Now, when I worked at y'all station on my primary route when I first went out there was like 25 houses that got something from the Jews for Jesus like every other day. And I would sit there for like a second as I'm putting this, like, what the fuck is this? Like, this, doesn't one exclude the other? Like,
yeah.
How is this? But no, apparently there were a lot of Jews who loved Jesus on there.
I thought that was called being a Christian.
Yeah. Jew part.
Yeah. You're now a Jewish person that believes that Jesus Christ was the Messiah, so you're no longer a Jew.
You got to pay back all that bar mitzvah money
they're
too.
Transitioning, they're trying to convince their folks they're still Jewish, but they got to add that Jesus in there. So
Well,
it's
I
that
mean,
transition.
Jesus was Jewish, so or who if he existed. I'm not gonna get into that one.
Maybe they're just trying to cover all their bases.
Look, I met a guy named Jesus just the other day. He was a very nice Hispanic guy.
Yeah, I worked with Jesus. He was a guy who worked in a dish pit. He was a nice guy.
What's a dish pit?
Humble.
You don't know what a dish pit
that
is?
sounds like a place I would
You've
not
never
wanna
worked
be.
in a restaurant then.
The restaurant I worked in, sir, was KFC. We didn't have dish pits.
Yeah, I worked at Chewy's and Outback Steakhouse, and both had dish pits.
Isn't Chewy's like an online dog company?
Yes, it is. You can get dog food.
Yeah.
Different Chewy.
Well, Chewy's is also a Tex-Mex restaurant from Texas.
Yeah, I've ate there. They have lots of cool shirts.
They do. I have a ton of them.
That
If you
is
want
true.
them,
What's a
you can
dish pit?
have them.
None of them would fit me.
They
sure.
would.
But what's a dish pit? Is it? Just
They had a Han Solo one.
I have it. Dish pit is a giant, sectioned off piece of the kitchen, where basically there's a giant rack for drying stuff, and there's a gigantic industrial sized dishwasher.
Oh, the one that comes down like that.
Exactly. Well, this runs them through on a conveyor belt.
Oh,
So
okay.
you load up the rack and you run
Spray
it
'em
through.
off.
Yeah, you spray them off in the pit, and then you run them through, and that's why it's called a dish pit, because it's like a fucking pit. It's like a area back there.
Because in the Army, when I worked KP, it was you put them in the rack, and you put them in the close. The
Same
thing
shit.
That was the dishwasher.
It's just very damp, very humid. Yeah. I go back there, and that's why you always had to wear slip-resistant shoes. The main reason why is because you had to go back there and walk in for shit, and your ass would be slipping around like crazy if you don't have on non-slip
There's
shoes.
a very unique smell that is
Yes.
neither pleasant nor unpleasant. It's
like
just kind of according to how
Clorox,
you're feeling. Yeah.
kind of like it's a weird smell.
Yeah, and you got to put the sanitizer in the dish thing, and
Yep.
then you open it up, and your
Luckily, I
arm gets
never had
steam
that
burned.
job. I never had to do that.
I did it at a Ponderosa for
There you
like
go. There's a dish pit.
3 months, and I was like, you know what? There's got to be
Worst job
better than
in
this.
the restaurant. Period. Is dishwashing.
Yeah.
I was a line cook for a long time, and then when I went to Chewy's, I ended up waiting tables for 6 years actually at Chewy's, and yeah, dude, the dish pit's the worst part of the whole fucking restaurant. Period. There's a good old silverware rack. I haven't had to see one of those in a long time. Thank God.
And you had to spray off all those dishes where they were pretty much clean before you put them in the dishwasher. Was the part that annoyed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the dishwasher's main job is just sanitizing
Right.
them. And they make them super hot too. It's
Oh, yeah.
really hot.
Scolding.
Yeah, and then you got to rinse them after they come out of that. And then I got in trouble because I was rinsing them in cold water.
You
And-
always use hot water
Okay.
for everything.
All right. Well,
And
they're already sanitized.
No, when I was in the Army, we had an extra step where after you went through the washer and the rinse, there was still another one with like where we poured bleach into the sink. You had to dip it through there before you put it to dry.
Shit, we didn't have to do anything like that, but
We've got 3 sinks at my place, and you have a wash, a rinse, and then you've got to let it soak for 2 minutes, exact in the sanitizer, and then we've got the dishwasher that heats and sanitizes.
shit, not Chewy's, man. Chewy's, those motherfuckers, fucking run it through. Gotta get plates out.
I said supposed to.
Hot plates. We need hot plates. Dude, I have flashbacks all the time working in restaurants. I worked in restaurants for like 8 years, and it still is like I would never go back unless I had to. It is one job I could fall back on if I ever got fired or
It's
something.
a good first job for everybody. I think everybody should work a
You
restaurant job.
really learn how bad people are when you start waiting tables, and you
Well,
learn.
Amy's experience was much different than that. She was such a shitty waitress. She made more tips than anybody else in the restaurant because they felt bad for her, thinking no one's going to tip this poor girl. She was like 17 years old, this little like 100-pound, not even 100 pounds, she's probably like 90 pounds. And she fucked up everybody's orders. She fucked up everybody's drinks. She fucked up everything constantly. And then they would give her like $20. She's like, poor girl ain't going to make no tips off anybody else tonight. And then everybody felt that way.
So yeah, I had to work hard, but like I'm a very personable guy. So like for me,
She's not. You've never met Amy?
Right.
She's not friendly. Friendly is not one of her qualities.
So someone like, wait tables. She's like, dude, I can't wait tables.
No. My wife kind of, without it saying anything, kind of gives you the impression that she, A, does not like you, and B, would just be happier if you were dead. Like, without ever saying anything. She's not what you call a people person. She's more of a
My wife is like
hater.
super introverted, so
She's not an introvert. She's an extrovert on her hate.
Oh.
On her dislike of people.
And yet she works in a job where she has to deal with people.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Well,
being
she's
a
the
carrier.
manager. She only has to deal with the Karens. They have to get to her level. She's like the boss fight of the retail establishment.
Which is funny because at a restaurant, that's like stage one is the manager. I want to speak to a manager. All right, dude, he's not going to tell you anything different though. That was my favorite part about my job. My managers were awesome, and they always had your back. So it was like, all right, dude,
Yeah.
than what I just told you.
Sir, all of our dishes come with hair. We have a son.
Yeah.
Our supervisor now she's the first one in that position since I've been there who will kind of automatically take our side.
Yeah, she
over
does. Yep.
Whoever's.
She's awesome, man. I have a lot of respect for her.
That's the way the best supervisor I ever had, Alan, was. Is somebody would call me like, my mail's been misdelivered every day this week. And he'd be like, why didn't you call earlier?
It's funny, dude.
I flat out heard him say one time, Jason wouldn't do that. And then he hung up the phone. I was like, I might have actually misdelivered that, Alan.
Oh man, it's so funny to me when people call like that and they're like, "Oh man, my mail's been misdelivered every day this week." No, it hasn't. Please don't lie. Just say, "Oh, it was Monday." Like you don't have to like make this big deal out of it. Just be like, "Hey, something must be going on because I'm getting a misdelivery." Don't be a dick about it. Just
Well, that's what he was. Whenever they started offline, he just ain't listening to this. Every day this week is Friday. You just now calling me?
I think they feel like it's petty to call in and complain about one missed delivery, so they make up other ones.
Dude, people, come
'Cause
on.
That happens, well, I mean, not all the time, but I feel like most of the time.
I feel like on Ray's Route, it probably happens every day. If you get a sub on Ray's Route, they're probably calling that day.
Well, I guess it depends on
And also
on
he
the
goes
regular too.
Yeah, and he also goes and mows their lawn and shit. What?
His neighbor, on the other hand, has complaints called on her on the daily, and she's fine with it.
Yeah. Well.
So now, when I get somebody else's mail in my mailbox, I just put it back in there.
Write something
for
on
the
it.
next day to let them, and they take it.
If you put the flag up and you put it back on there, you don't have to write anything on it.
That's what I usually do. I just put the flag up, put it back in the mailbox, and then it's
Because if the
gone.
flag's up, I'm looking for outgoing mail. If there's no outgoing mail, and then I'm going to read what's in there, like, oh, I fucked up yesterday, and just set it to the side and go on.
Okay, so that's the proper thing to do.
Yeah,
then?
if you just stick it back there raising your flag, like, I'm going to think you just didn't get your mail.
Okay, because I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should be calling and complaining about this shit.
It won't do no good.
Okay.
Yeah, it really won't, because they're just going to be whoever did it that day, especially if it was a sub. We're going to be like, oh, I don't know, maybe.
Is your box clearly labeled?
Yeah, well, very, very clearly.
How about the inside?
You
Is
could
there
try putting a tag on the inside.
Well, see, I very rarely get somebody else's mail, and I have no problem with just putting it back in there and putting the flag up.
It's probably a sub.
But what pisses me off is when they fucking lie about why they didn't deliver something. Like that time I posted in Slack, where I was expecting it, I was watching the fucking tracking, and then it just said unable to deliver. What was it? Unable to. What was technical
it?
Term?
No access?
No access.
Yeah.
Well, that means that they missed you, and they brought it back to the post office, and then they were like,
or it didn't
they
go
didn't
out to
fucking
begin
miss me
with.
because my ass was sitting on the fucking porch all goddamn day waiting for it to fucking.
You get that is because they're going to look at your driveway and say, I can't back out of this motherfucker, and then turn around and...
That is a valid reason, too.
But they come up it all the time. They come up it the day before.
Well, right now they're getting onto us over backing.
Yeah, like big time. Like there are addresses on my primary where if like I have to back out. It's a long driveway, and they get on me for that.
There's always space to pull in, and you have to do a 3-point turn.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it from the street, you can't see that.
So is it?
So maybe
technically the rule is if you pull into a driveway, you need to be able to see where you can turn around in that driveway before you turn.
So because you have to come uphill, they can't see it, and so
yeah.
I guess
that may be something happening.
How
right
far
now.
is the street from your house?
Long fucking way.
All right, yeah, I'd probably be like, fuck that too.
His driveway's probably longer than mine.
Yeah, no, I'd probably be in their position. I'd probably be like, all right.
But you can't see the turnaround.
You could try
from the
posting
road.
a sign that says there's room to turn around.
But it doesn't happen that often. It's just it pissed me off that we were sitting on the porch watching for this fucking thing. We were watching the traffic. We were watching the tracking. It said it was out for delivery, and yet. We then get a notification later that evening when it didn't show up that unable to deliver. It's like, why?
That's because they don't have a good scan to put on it.
Yeah, they don't have like custom. Well, apparently now you're supposed to do customer hold. So like,
are you serious?
Yeah,
that's even worse.
Yeah, no, I mean, anytime I miss one, they're like, all right, just do customer hold on it and then deliver it tomorrow.
Did our boss say that?
What's customer hold?
It's when you have your mail on hold.
So like if I call in and say, hey, hold
this
my
is back
mail
when
today?
Cindy was still here. That's what they.
It's
told
more
us to
like
do.
when you put in a hold card for 3 days.
Never heard that.
Okay.
So if you get a package during those 3 days, I'm going to scan it customer hold, so that it kills the clock on it while it
or
sits
no
in the post
access,
office.
no business closed, whatever. It kills the clock on it. They run off a 24-hour
So
clock.
that's what it is. They put no access, so it would kill the clock.
That's exactly what it is. Because whenever they scan that in the office and throw it to the route, that's whenever it gets the out for delivery scan. It ain't actually went anywhere yet, but they've thrown it somewhere, and sometimes they'll throw it to the wrong guy. And so later on, he's like, oh, I got this shit here for so-and-so, and so-and-so's already done with a third of his route.
Right.
So then they're just going to scan in no access. And
well, like a
give
good
you bad
example,
customer
too,
service.
of like real no access was yesterday. I had a package for an apartment complex that was a signature required. Well, you have to have a code to get into the gate, or go into the office and give it to them. Office is closed. The only way I can do it is put it in a parcel locker. So what I'm doing is I'm not even trying. I'm just going to scan it, no access, and be like, you know what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait till the office is open Monday.
Right now, I've got a guy who put up a driveway gate that gets a parcel about every other day, and that's a no access. I can't leave it on this side of the gate, and I can't get over that gate because I ain't climbing a 10-foot wrought iron fucking gate to deliver your shit.
And you can't throw it over the gate.
No, because the bars are like this far apart. It won't fit through the bars, so.
And if you throw it over, then they're going to get you for throwing it
Yeah.
over.
I mean, there are some people that have gates on my route that have room where I can just go over the top and kind of lower it down on the other side of the gate, and that's where they want it. Fine, okay. And then I give it a little push to where you can't just reach and get it. But this guy, nope, he's getting no access every day he ain't home.
There's some people like on some routes like what's his name, Paul's route, you know, and they have a gate, and they want you to put it on the gate. They're like, just put it on the gate, just put it on the top of the gate, put it on a pillar. So whatever.
I don't know.
I've got that in writing from some of my gate people.
I probably wouldn't do it otherwise.
I've asked him.
Feels weird to me.
They asked me to put it on the other side of the gate. I'm like, cool, just put me a note in the mailbox tomorrow, and I'll do that from now on. Then I've got a folder in my drawer where I've got all of these notes from these weird people that want me to do weird shit. That way, when they complain about it missing, I'm like, note signed.
I got a really weird one too. Is on my primary. That she has a big brown dog that will not let you out of
Big
the
brown
truck.
dog.
Will not let you out of the truck. It is terrifying. And so she tells me, just leave it at the end of my driveway. So like I don't know what to do sometimes, like especially when it's raining. I'm like, I mean, you told me to do it. I'll just like kind of
The customer or the
customer?
regular?
No, the customer. I've met her quite a few times actually, and she tells me, she's like, don't go down this driveway because when you turn around, you know, you're gonna hit my dog. And her next door neighbor's like, well, she causes the problem, you know. She
okay.
She tells me to leave it at the end of her driveway.
I would
Speaking
have
of
her come pick
animals
it up.
keeping you from getting out of your vehicle, have you had any peacock problems lately?
Not lately. No,
Turkey
I haven't
problem.
had to go down there.
Turkey?
Yeah, I got a
Not
video.
once the woman made fun of him for being scared of a peacock. Ever since then, he's been so. Every time he sees one, he runs at it screaming because he has to establish dominance.
I don't run at it screaming. I get out of the truck like Mick Jagger, like pumping my chest out. Going,
Feathers, colored,
I
waving
just take
in the
that
air.
tie-dye flag and wave it behind him.
Perfect. There was a peacock on his route
I
one
showed
time,
dominance.
Isaac, that he saw when he was delivering a package, and he jumped because the peacock made a noise.
that little shit fucking waited till
And
I
then the
dropped
woman
the box
who lives there made fun of him
because she
goes,
saw outside.
It's just
a peacock.
honey.
Noise like right when I got even with him, like after I dropped it off and I jumped, and I'm like, is this thing okay? And she's like, it's just a peacock, honey. like I'm the dumbest man on.
It's an everyday thing.
It looks like a fucking raptor with feathers. Fuck off.
Like, what? It's just a sperm whale. You might. God.
It said when I walked past.
It wouldn't let me in my truck. This turkey. It would not let me in my
Fuck
truck.
turkeys.
It stayed.
I
It
would
stayed at
punt
the.
that motherfucker.
Dude. What happened? Well, I called the cops.
You called the cops.
To the beginning of the story.
Okay.
You pull up to this house.
I pull out to this
you-
house. I
You
get out of
don't
the
see a
truck.
turkey,
I
or do you
not-
see the turkey?
I do not see the turkey.
Did you bring your turkey spray with you?
The turkey was lying in.
Right.
So like I get out and deliver the parcel. And I'm walking
just
back.
somebody
and as
needs
soon as
to
I
find call.
Dude, the cop that showed up, of course, he was this big buff cop. Neighbor across the street came out, and he lured it away from the truck so I could get in.
How did he lure it? With delicious treats?
He went to his mailbox, and I was like, hey, dude, do you have a gun? Over on the one of the main roads that I deliver on, there is a turkey
It's a
farm.
wild turkey?
No, it's a farm. There's a turkey farm. In fact,
It's
the
a
other day-
domesticated turkey. It's not even a wild turkey.
No,
I don't care. Turkeys are
my
assholes.
first
Fuck
stop. The produce stand on my first stop on that route. I was like, there's a fucking turkey, man. I should run this motherfucker over. Anyways,
I
so
agree.
I turn around and it's like in my fucking truck. So I'm like, dude, I can't let
Wait,
it get
it
in
was
the truck.
in your truck?
It was like right near the wheel well. So I chucked the fucking rock at it and it went. You know,
You were the aggressor in this situation.
The turkey
So-
hand
He
you a
was
letter.
using sneak attacks so that he
I
wouldn't
was
get.
I was like popping up and going.
Turkey just had a piece of alcohol.
Rock me?
What?
6 times with the rocks. Okay?
It didn't move.
It
It's a
moved.
stupid turkey.
So
Turkey
the
has
neighbor-
You've rocked 6 times.
From this spot.
Just having a nice barbecue, and you're Karen calling the cops.
Dude, so like, all I could think of is the turkey walking up to the police officer. Oh, thank God you're here, officer. Pop, pop, pop.
So it wasn't even
Anyone
being
want dinner?
aggressive towards you?
No, it was rearing up, and it was like, ooh, and it was getting all big. I was like, okay, I
Is
don't
that
know.
Threw the rocks at it?
No, it was
Dude,
after.
you are walk up and kick it.
Okay, listen. So that's what the cop asked me. The cop.
Yeah.
He's pulling down the street, and he like, I stopped because he stops, and I was like, hey man, what's up? He was like, are you the guy that called about the turkey? I was like, yeah. He was like,
the turkey caller.
Of course, the cop's looking at me and the size that I am, and he's like, you called about the turkey? He was like, big ass about the turkey.
Wait a
And he
minute.
was like, I'm going to run it over, whatever.
No, but you didn't see the turkey. Like it was huge.
Dude,
It was coming right.
I got a picture. It was
It's a big
huge.
turkey.
I understand without their feathers, they're much smaller, but look at it. It's the size of that fucking trash can, dude. It's huge.
It's a fucking turkey.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, what would happen if it was a fucking ostrich?
Look,
This
like it
motherfucker
started-
would still be out there.
It started doing the Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm gonna die.
That turkey
This
was
fucking
showing
turkey's
you
gonna-
his ass.
Yeah. He was like, fuck you, quit hitting me with rocks and I'll move.
Yes, that is the issue here.
I fucking hit it so
That
many
turkey
times.
deserved
I
it.
hit it in the head
I'm
with a
on
rock and it
Isaac's
still didn't
side.
I feel
move.
bad for the turkey.
I hate
There's
fucking
something
turkeys
crawling on
with
you.
fiery passion.
There's something crawling on you.
That would be a ladybug.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It is now on your back.
No, I don't see
It's on your back.
Legit, it's on his back
It's
now.
a ladybug.
It is a
All right,
ladybug.
hold on.
Yeah, well, he
I
was
can't-
afraid of the turkeys.
All right,
I
it's
thought he
coming
might be
around.
afraid
Oh
of the
my
ladybugs.
god,
There it
dude, it's a
goes.
ladybug.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's flying.
You got it.
Do we have 911 on speed dial?
You
got it.
There's something crawling on you.
The turkey is no longer here, but the ladybug is on me.
All right, I'm cool.
All right,
it
guys.
is.
Kill it. Somebody
Right
kill
there.
Somebody throw a rock at it. Quick.
Just don't make a new hole.
Throw 8 rocks at it.
We appreciate you joining us on this episode of what the show formerly known as Out for Delivery. Stay safe from the coronavirus. Don't touch your fucking face. Wash your fucking hands. Here's an idea. Wash your fucking hands when there isn't a global fucking pandemic, you filthy fucking animals.
I think we don't
That
have any
too.
hand sanitizer left from this.
That's fine. All right, so we'll see you next week. Until then, everybody should do that thing that we're supposed to do on this show, which is the...
Hit it.
Yeah, that thing.